president tomorrow. AU Commission Chairperson Muhammad Ali Yusuf noted the suspension was with immediate effect. Meanwhile, SADC has selected a panel of elders in a bid to de-escalate tension. The panel will be led by Malawi's former president Joyce Banda. Political analyst advocate Toki Ramalasan explains.
I can safely say that for the general public, the population in Madagascar, the so-called military takeover comes as a relief. It's a reassurance. When President Rajoelina left the country without resigning, he left a vacuum, but he also left a political and legal limbo. Then the president of the Senate, who was supposed to be number 2 of the government, also went missing. So the only remaining legal institution was the National Assembly, and the National Assembly voted the impeachment of the president.
Government officials in Cameroon have dismissed claims by opposition candidate Issa Chiroma that he has won the elections. The electoral body is only expected to announce the results after 15 days. In a speech posted on social media on Monday, claimed victory and has urged Biya, who is at 92, as the world's oldest serving head of state, to concede defeat. Geopolitical analyst Aaron Ngambi says the officials are corrected in principle to dismiss this claim.
Yeah, so the current minister, Poatangaji, is actually right in principle. He is saying that it is the role of the Constitutional Council to announce the final results. It is not the role of any candidates or political players to do that, because doing this could actually amount to treason. So he's not just threatening the opposition, the promising opposition candidate, but he is also just reminding him that by law, the right thing to do is to wait for the Constitutional Council to actually declare elections.
South Africa's Police Minister Senzo Mchunu, who has been placed on special leave, says he became aware of the political killings task team before he became minister. He is the 4th witness testifying at the ad hoc committee investigating allegations of criminal infiltration, corruption and political interference in the justice system. The committee's evidence leader, Advocate Norman Arendse, is leading his evidence-in-chief. Mchunu, who is accused of giving a directive, is to disband the PKTT, explains it himself.
That's how I thought about it, and that's how far I went in thinking about what I'd been thrust into.
The South African National Defence Force Chief of Joint Operations says they are hopeful that the Parliament's Joint Standing Committee on Defence will address challenges facing troops deployed to combat illegal activities at the borderlines across the country. General Spiwe Sangweni was speaking at a meeting held by the committee in Masina in the Limpopo province. The SANDF Border Management Authority and others working at the Bay Bridge border post and borderline with Zimbabwe are presenting their challenges to committee members. Sangweni explains.
Sometimes when we report, we felt as if they don't want to understand, or they don't understand, or they don't want to understand, and we get a bit unhappy. I'm very straight to saying I personally and the leadership of the DOD, we are concerned that government seems not to be listening to us, whilst they need us as the Defence Force, and the people of South Africa does need the Defence Force that is fully capacitated and is able to do their work accordingly.
Lastly, one person has been killed and more than 100 injured during anti-government protests in Peru. The authorities said most of those injured were police officers. Clashes broke out as security forces sought to disperse demonstrators trying to reach Congress in the capital, Lima. The BBC's Mimi Swebi.
What started as a peaceful protest in Peru's capital ended in violence and chaos. It was the first large demonstration since the new Peruvian president, José Herri, was sworn in, promising a swift crackdown on crime. Gen Z-led protests first erupted in late September, triggered by pension reforms affecting young people. But they quickly escalated with crowds expressing anger over corruption and growing insecurity. Young people were joined by transport workers, who say the government is not doing enough to combat extortion. President Herri accused criminals of infiltrating the latest demonstration, looking to stoke violence.
Channel Africa News, I'm Onele Nsinzi.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
All right, it's gone officially 7 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African Time. Good afternoon and welcome to The Upside, your gateway to the good life on Channel Africa, The African Perspective, with Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mmatsheko Mosito. Happy Thursday. Thank you so much for tuning in this afternoon. We're coming to you live from the Auckland Park Studios in Johannesburg, South Africa. Catch us live on our social media platforms at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube, at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok. And as always, you can download the SABC Plus app so you can take us with you wherever you go on your Android or your iOS device. Good afternoon to you, Mmatsheko Mosito. Good to see you again. How you doing?
Good to see you, good friend, good upsider. Say South Africa again.
South Africa.
Hey, ta-da. I missed the way you say South Africa. Where have you been? Do you want to tell us? Or you'll tell us later?
Nah, I've been playing with animals. I've been playing with animals. It's been listen, I'll share a few details about my trip later on during the day, during the show. It's been an exciting one. I tell you what, eye-opening trip this week. And I'm not going to say too much now. All I'm going to say is that we've got a jam-packed show lined up for you. And I can't wait to hear what we have in store. Not just from you, but later on, what caught your eye, Ziaboy.
Yes.
Yeah.
What caught your eye, always a special feature. But yeah, look, we're excited to have you back. Welcome back
Thank you very
home.
much.
Welcome back home. We've been waiting for you, but coming through on the show today, we are talking about wearing confidence. Yes.
Wearing confidence.
That's what we're talking about.
Yes, that's
Mandeza
true.
Katu's bold take on branding and well-being is what we'll be focusing on. That's just one of the many conversations that we'll be having this afternoon.
100%. And we kickstart our conversations with a very serious one because we'll be discussing self-managed abortion. Right? We're going to talk about access, support, and just demystifying some myths about it, as it is International Safe Abortion Day. So it's a rather controversial conversation, but we'll be tackling it this afternoon on The Upside. And as always, what caught your eye, like Mmatsheko had mentioned, hey, quite a few things have caught my eye, and I can't wait to share them with you.
So excited. I'm so excited. I think
Yes.
this one's going to be the most exciting what caught your eye yet, because if your eyes could take pictures, right? Imagine that. If your actual eyes could like snap pics, that would be something. But here we are.
That's how we live now, isn't it? Everywhere we go, our eyes, our phones, they close by.
I wish my eyes could take pictures of the moon, because when I hold my phone up to the moon, it says no, not today. Today.
Using the wrong phone.
Well, I should get an actual camera, maybe.
Get an actual camera, or use that other one, that other phone, that one that zooms in like 200 times or something like that.
Oh my goodness, that costs like $1 million.
Apparently, you can get very close to the moon with that particular. I haven't seen it. I haven't tried it myself. I need to go to a cell phone store and check them out and see how proper this camera really is. Because on social media, hey, people can make things look so good. But the reality of it, it's questionable. 11 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African Time. Welcome to The Upside.
Africa, voici Abedi.
Oui, c'est moi.
Abedi est un passionné de musique dans l'âme. Il a un goût pour toutes sortes de musique et passe ses journées à écouter Channel Africa.
J'aime beaucoup la musique africaine.
Ok. Devinez quoi? Channel Africa veut aider Abedi et les mélomanes du monde entier à découvrir encore plus de musique incroyable. C'est pourquoi Channel Africa appelle les artistes africains à soumettre leur musique. Chers artistes, n'oubliez pas de nous fournir toutes vos informations pertinentes à l'email adresse musique@channelafrica.co.za. Les soumissions sont votre chance d'être entendues, mais elles ne garantissent pas une playlist. Toutes les soumissions seront soigneusement examinées pour voir si elles répondent aux exigences de notre station. Channel Africa, la perspective africaine.
Channel Africa, your voice, your sound, and your home. Stay logged right here.
Talking like you're ready, can you handle that? Maybe we can settle that. I know you're fiending for my bigger back, ooh. All in your face, all in your face. I'm down to do what you really want to. Champagne with a little fun, yeah. Show me what you really want. Nobody do me as good as you. See my record, just like magic. Drive me loco, automatic, so electric. Roboto, oh, you give me such an essence, I can hack it. So spiritual, fresh out the package. Oh, I rap like bandage on you. It's only you for me. You for me. You for me. I wanna. Nobody fit to they can never ever. Caesar, call you my Caesar. I'm still a diva, but I'm a keeper. It's your ability for stability. It's how you keep me out in captivity. Oh, me like it. You know I'm for it. See my record, just like magic. Drive me loco, automatic, so electric. Roboto, oh, you give me such an essence, I can hack it. So spiritual, fresh out the package. Oh, I rap like bandage on you. It's only you for me. You for me. You for me. Oh, I'm into you for me. Give it all to me. Can't nobody compare to you.
Look at that song. I haven't heard that song in a minute. You for me.
Tiwa Savage.
Tiwa Savage. I'm guessing she's not our biggest fan.
Why?
At the moment.
Why?
Do you not remember at some stage we spoke about her on What Caught Your Eye?
Well, Fela Kuti. I'm not going to
Yes.
quote him verbatim because I
Yes.
have a lot of respect for his artistry. But forming part of his ideals was the truth should not break no friendship.
The truth should not break no
So why would
friendship.
she be upset? Did we tell a lie?
Yeah, let's get into our conversations. Let's get into our first conversation this afternoon. I can't remember when. A couple of weeks ago, it was International Safe Abortion Day. And the conversation around access to healthcare, accurate information, and safe choices took center stage. In South Africa, Abortion Support has released a powerful new educational video providing evidence-based guidance on self-managed abortion at home. The video aims to break stigma, empower women with knowledge, and promote bodily autonomy, especially in a country where reproductive health is often shrouded in silence and misinformation. And we are joined now to explore the motivation behind the campaign and how it fits into broader reproductive justice movements. We're joined by Victoria Satchwell, Executive Director of Abortion Support. Victoria, thank you so much for your time. Welcome to The Upside. Let's talk about why it was so important to focus specifically on self-managed abortion at this year's International Safe Abortion Day.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. And I would agree that the truth should break no friendship, and that's why we made this video. Yeah, so one of the biggest barriers to access to abortion is actually information. People don't know where they can get an abortion, if medication abortion is safe, what does the process actually look like? Will I be in pain? So there really are a lot of perceptions that abortion is dangerous and difficult. And we have no images, no video, no accurate perception about what this very common process is actually like. So 1 in 4 women have an abortion. But people's ideas are often, that there's a lot of blood or that it's not safe, and it's not accurate. So we really do need evidence-based information so that people can make accurate choices.
Right. I think, beyond that, Victoria, I think one thing for me that's really important and why I personally wanted to have this conversation and, just really shocked that, us as women here on the African continent and many other places in the world where, abortion talk is still such a taboo subject, is people still need to think about whether to even have the conversation. They take weeks upon weeks trying to think about just even talking about it, let alone making the decision to go and have one, for example. So even opening up the conversation is difficult for people. But let's talk about abortion as a civil rights issue, as a public health issue, because access to safe abortions is still an issue for many people and many women and girls on the African continent. So what are your thoughts on opening up the conversation and finding the language to be able to talk to each other, to talk to our parents, to talk to our healthcare workers freely about abortion?
Yeah, I think that it's so important to be supported while you're going through an abortion process. So actually having someone with you when you're doing your abortion, but also, of course, before wanting to be able to speak to a friend or a partner, not feeling like you need to be alone in this. And I'm hoping that this video, what it really wanted to do was humanize the process, to see, oh, this lady did it. She seems like she's okay. It seemed like it was safe. So if we can normalize it, then that's how we can sort of start introducing it in a way that it's just something that happens. It's 1 in 4 women. So hopefully with this imagery and with this video, we can destigmatize and normalize, allowing people to have those conversations more.
If you have any questions for Victoria, if you'd like to chime in on this conversation, please drop us a WhatsApp, a voice note, +2763 406 9126. It's now 20 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African time. We'll continue our conversation with Victoria right after this.
Get the news, music, and lifestyle of Africa on Channel Africa, the African perspective. Gender-based violence is destroying lives and tearing communities apart. It happens in homes, in schools, at workplaces, and too often in silence. But it doesn't have to continue. If you see it, speak out. If you are hurting, reach out. Because doing nothing is not an option. Listen to all 19 SABC radio stations from Wednesday, 23rd of July for Hard Talk Discussions, advice, dramas, educational shows, and interviews around GBV with experts, survivors, lawmakers, and the whole country affected by gender-based violence. For all your favorite SABC radio stations, call 0800 428 428 to report abuse or get help. GBV, it ends with you. This message is brought to you by the SABC. The Upside, 1 to 4 p.m. Central African Time. With Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mosito. Only on Channel Africa, the African Perspective.
Well, at this year's International Safe Abortion Day, Abortion Support had released a powerful new educational video providing evidence-based guidance on self-managed abortion at home. And we continue our conversation with Victoria Satchwell, Executive Director of Abortion Support. Victoria, let's talk about the work that Abortion Support do before we continue and unpack that entire video and who it's aimed at and where we can access it. Let's talk about the work that you do as Abortion Support.
Thanks. So we're a nonprofit based in Johannesburg, and we provide digital support for self-managed abortion. So what that means is that pregnant people can visit our website and do an online consultation with a doctor in order to get abortion pills so that they can use the abortion pills at home. And then we also do research and advocacy work trying to help people understand that this is an option for them and trying to get it more mainstreamed.
Okay. Let's talk about the project and the filming thereof. How did you psychologically prepare yourself for this? Because just also follow through from the last segment where we spoke about the tabooness around even talking about abortion. How did you mentally prepare for your own process? An abortion experience that you ultimately filmed for this awareness short film. How did you prepare? Did you talk to anyone? And just the entire process of filming the project.
Yeah, so this isn't the first abortion that I've had. I've had a medication abortion before, so I kind of knew a little bit what to expect. And of course, I work with abortion every day, so I also know that every abortion process is different, and this one was very different to the one that I'd had before. And so I 100% was sure immediately as I saw my positive pregnancy test. I already knew I don't want to be pregnant right now. And then I did speak to a few friends, not really about whether I wanted to end the pregnancy, but more about whether I wanted to film the process. And this is something that we've actually been hoping to produce footage like this for a while. We had a project where we had an open call for anyone doing a self-managed abortion to record it, but very few people wanted to do that, and that's understandable. I think the reason that it was easier for me is because I work with abortion every day. And so it's already a completely normalized and not scary experience for me. So it was actually not at all difficult to have some friends come in and film it for me.
Victoria, the self-managed abortion, I think in layman's terms, what does it actually mean? When we talk about self-managed abortion, does this mean terminating a pregnancy on your own without any supervision? Give us in layman's terms what that actually means.
Sure. So it's a broad term, and it just means that a woman can manage part or all of the pregnancy termination on her own. So we can think about it in sort of abortion in three different parts. There are three different elements of it. We've got being able to assess that you are pregnant and that you're within the safe time period to use the abortion pills. And then we've got taking the pills, so actually, putting them under your tongue and going through the process yourself. And then we've also got assessing the success of the abortion process, making sure that it actually worked and that there aren't any complications that need additional care. And so the World Health Organization says that it is safe for women to do all three of those elements by herself. But also in most contexts, you're actually going to be doing part of it yourself and part of it with a healthcare provider. So getting some support from the healthcare system.
Okay. So let's talk about the difference then, because, I'm just looking at the statistics and they are frightening. I mean, in countries like Mali, for an example, 80% of abortions are still happening outside healthcare facilities, which which means then there are backdoor abortions and then they are unsafe. In South Africa, we've had legalized safe abortion since 1996, but 50% of women and girls still do backdoor abortions. So is it that we perhaps don't understand that we have access to the service that is free in healthcare facilities? But also with that, Victoria, perhaps you can tell us the difference between a medical abortion and a surgical abortion. And how did you make the decision to go with one or the other? Because I think you mentioned that your first one was a medical one, which means you'd go into a facility and have it done that way. And this one was self-managed. So how does one even make that decision to either go and get a medical abortion or do a surgical one that they self-manage?
Sure. So I'll start with the first part of your question. Indeed, we have severe access issues in South Africa. Even though we do have legalized abortion, only 7% of our clinics are actually providing that service. So that means that most people, they aren't living close to a clinic. And then you end up having a situation where we are having these informal abortions. And indeed, some of them are unsafe. And that's what we're worried about. We don't want women to be using steel wool or not knowing how to use the medication properly. And so what's wonderful about self-managed abortion is that you don't need to be near a clinic. And if you're scared of the nurse, you think the nurse is going to stigmatize you, you don't need to go into the clinic. You can get your abortion pills, use them at home, and it can reduce so many of those barriers to abortion. And it's also good for the healthcare system because it means that we have less people coming to the clinic, so we can help with other illnesses or health issues that actually must have in-person care. And in other countries in Africa, you can actually buy misoprostol, which is the abortion pill, at a pharmacy. In many cases, you don't need a prescription. Sometimes you do. So it really can improve access for women. And in terms of a medication abortion or a medical abortion, which is also the one with pills, versus a surgical abortion, this is really the preference of the woman. So you can choose which one you would like to do. Some people prefer to go into the clinic because they will be with a healthcare provider the whole time. It's quicker. It usually takes around 5 to 10 minutes. And it's done using something called manual vacuum aspiration. So it's a little machine that causes a vacuum for the pregnancy to come out of the uterus. But some people don't want to go into a clinic. And also, it's a very different experience because, with a surgical, you're sitting there with your legs open and it's much more invasive. Whereas with the pills, you're at home or in a clinic and you're just, taking pills, and then those pills are going to cause the contractions of the uterus that are going to expel the pregnancy. So you're going to be bleeding. Usually the most intense bleeding is usually for a few hours. So they're quite different processes, but both have been shown they're equally safe, and both are really good options.
Victoria, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. If you'd like to find out more, do we just need to go to abortionsupport.co.za?
Indeed, and you can also check out the video of me self-managing my abortion at home on our TikTok page, which is abortion.sa.
Abortion.sa. Thank you so much, Victoria, for your time this afternoon. The voice of Victoria Satchwell, Executive Director of Abortion Support. And this is after Abortion Support had released a powerful new educational video providing evidence-based guidance on self-managed abortion at home. And Victoria is the subject in that video. Go check them out on TikTok and abortionsupport.co.za. It's 30 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African time. Let's get the latest in sports.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
It's a very good afternoon from the sports desk. I am Mosito Makura, and welcome back, Tebogo. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's go into this story now. So, Hugo Broos, the head coach of the South African men's national football team, has broken down how he managed to transform the team and says players' mentality formed a key part of their success. So, after leading Bafana to their first World Cup through the qualifiers in 24 years, Broos took the media through the process of what it takes to be a senior national team player. He says players have understood what he's all about for the past 4 years.
Suddenly, players understood what I wanted. Suddenly, players knew that you have to work very hard to perform and to achieve something. And that was for me when I went to games to look for players. For me, the first thing I saw was the mentality on the pitch. The rest, okay. I will see it later. But just that man has the right mentality.
Meanwhile, now as he looks ahead to the next Africa Cup of Nations tournament in Morocco in December of this year, Broos also warned that this year's edition will be very different to the previous one, from which South Africa returned home with a bronze medal.
I can say already now that the next AFCON will be totally different than the AFCON 2 years ago. Because everybody knows South Africa now. When we went 2 years ago to AFCON, there were many people who were asking themselves what are they going to do in AFCON with those players. But we did it. And I think there were opponents also there in the AFCON that thought the same thing. Wow, South Africa, wow. This will not be the case anymore now.
We'll stay with football news. Morocco have qualified for the grand final of the FIFA Under-20 Men's World Cup this after overcoming France in an epic as well as a tense semi-final that was decided eventually on penalties last night. So after 120 minutes of intensity, the score remained tight at 1-1, forcing a dramatic finish where the young Atlas Lions demonstrated unbreakable mental strength. With a final result of 4-2 on penalties, the Morocco side making history. They'll now face off with Argentina for the final this coming weekend. In cricket news now, in live cricket action, it was Bangladesh who earlier won the toss and elected to bat first against Australia at the ICC Women's Cricket World Cup. So at the moment, after 30 overs, Bangladesh on 109 runs for the loss of 4 wickets, having of course lost 4 wickets in their past 30 overs, and they'll be looking for an upset of some sort against the Australian side, who are now looking to reclaim top spot in the table with a win over Bangladesh following their remarkable run chase against India just a few days ago. And finally, Britain's Emma Raducanu has withdrawn from her final 2 events of the year because of an illness that has kept her out of action for the past 10 days. The 22-year-old was due to play in Tokyo as well as Hong Kong, but has decided now to fly home to recover before starting her preparations for 2026. Now, those preparations, by the way, will include coach Francesco Rogue, as the pair have now agreed to work together again next season. Raducanu had her blood pressure taken during her first round match with Anne Lee in Wuhan just last week, and also retired when trailing 6-1 and 4-1 on an oppressively humid day. She again required a visit from her doctor at this week's Ningbo Open, where she lost in 3 sets to Chinese wildcard Zhu Lin in the opening round of that tournament. Well, that concludes your sports news this hour. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, remember to send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za. Alternatively, give us a call. The newsroom line is +27 11714 4459. I'm back with more sports news in the next hour. For Channel Africa Sport, I am Mosito Makura.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African Perspective. Africa in Business on Channel Africa.
The United States was very vocal at the beginning of South Africa's G20 presidency, and this is largely due to strained relations with South Africa at the time, that they were not really keen on participating. Where do they stand right now?
The US is planning to take over the presidency of the G20 next year, and our understanding from them is that they intend to continue to do so, and therefore it is quite difficult then to be in a situation where you are not attending deputies' meetings or discussions during our presidency and then to take over the presidency next year. From a finance track perspective, there has been engagement. We've been working on a communique last week and this week here in Zimbabwe. What's important about that is that it's a consensus document. And so all the members in the room have to agree to the language that is used there. And our US colleagues have been part of those discussions and negotiations.
Bringing the African markets into your home. Channel Africa, the African Perspective.
36 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African Time. Let's find out how the markets are moving. Chandu Koligeke is standing by.
Business news on Channel Africa, the African Perspective.
Thank you, Tebogo. Good afternoon. The annual index compiled by Pan-African Bank ABSA and London-based think tank OMFIF shows that seismic shifts in global trade and funding have weakened many of Africa's financial systems in the past year. This is despite signs of improvement via reforms to foreign exchange regimes and action to help mitigate the impact of climate change. Disruptions to long-standing trade deals, rising tariff uncertainty, and reduced foreign aid to Africa have all triggered sharp asset price movements. The report showed that while 10 of the 29 countries surveyed recorded improvements, 11 saw declines and 8 remained unchanged. The report noted growing momentum in climate-aligned finance, with 4 nations issuing green bonds for the first time. Egypt launched Africa's first regulated voluntary carbon market, while Ghana implemented climate stress testing for banks. In other news, Libya's central bank says the country's oil revenues reached $14.65 billion during the first 9 months of 2025. The bank says this highlights the continued dominance of hydrocarbons in the national economy. Libya's total public revenues stood at $17.48 billion, with oil sales alone accounting for $14.65 billion of that. Royalties contributed an additional $7.47 billion, while non-oil revenues remained comparatively low. Tax revenues totaled $184.8 million and telecoms revenues $9.5 million. Despite its solid oil income, Libya continues to face structural fiscal challenges because of its oversized public sector and limited economic diversification. Food and beverage giant Nestlé says it will cut 16,000 jobs over the next 2 years as its new CEO, Philip Navratil, pushes on products with highest potential returns. The Swiss company must change faster to keep pace with a changing world and adopt a performance mindset that does not accept losing market share to rivals. He replaced the former CEO, who was fired in September over a romantic relationship with an employee. The job cuts were announced today as Nestlé reported better sales figures in the first 9 months of 2025, selling more products across its major categories, including coffee and sweets. The Indian government has insisted its main objective is to safeguard the interest of Indian consumers in a volatile energy market. This after US President Donald Trump claimed Prime Minister Narendra Modi had assured him India would stop purchasing Russian oil. A statement from India's foreign ministry neither confirmed nor denied that Delhi was shifting its energy policy. In August, the Trump administration imposed 50% tariffs on goods from India as punishment for buying Russian oil and weapons. The BBC's Arunodey Mukhraj reports.
India has consistently resisted growing pressure from the US over its Russian oil imports, saying it needs to secure its energy requirements given the rising population and rapidly growing economy. In a statement, the Foreign Ministry indicated, however, that the government was open to diversifying as appropriate to meet market conditions. Reacting to President Trump's remarks, the statement said discussions were ongoing with the U.S. administration, which they said had shown interest in deepening energy cooperation with India.
$1 in Nigeria is trading at 1,460 naira, Botswana 13 pula 26, Kenya the dollar is 128 shilling 8, Zambia 22 kwacha 52. BRICS countries, $1 in Brazil is 5 real 46, in Russia 78 rubles 88, India 88 rupee 15, China 71 13, South Africa 17 rand 32 cents. $1 is 74 pence to the British pound and 85 to the euro. Commodities, gold is $4,239, platinum at $1,664 per ounce. The price of Brent crude oil at $62.14 a barrel. For any business stories you'd like to share with us, please send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za, or you can call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business, I am Chanduko Ligege.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective. Get Channel Africa on DSTV Audio Bouquet. Channel 802, The Morning Switch Weekend. With the Shy Guy.
The story that takes us to Zambia. There are two men actually that were sentenced to prison for the plot to kill the president with witchcraft. You go like, what? So these guys were arrested actually in Lusaka. And what was found on them was a live chameleon. Can you believe that? Animal tails and bottles of concoction. That law takes us back to 1914, which is the Witchcraft Act. I can imagine now arrested and they go to jail for the next 2 years. You know, I presume that when you get to jail, they get to ask you actually, what is it that you committed? Now, this is the first of its kind, by the way, for somebody to be arrested for such. They remember whenever they pass. Hey, Chikanga! Hey, Uloya! Hey, Mulosi! And imagine here I am in these early hours of the mornings, I get to talk about witchcraft.
Saturday and Sunday mornings belong to the Morning Switch. 3 to 6 a.m. Central African Time. We are on Open Views Audio Bouquet. Channel 628.
Darubini ya Afrika na I am Henry Shakif.
Mgombea urais wa chama cha wananchi CUF Gambo Samatindo ameitaka serikali ya Tanzania kuweza kutoa msimamo wao wa wazi kuhusiana na matukio ya utekaji watu. Tamko hili la mgombea huyu wa CUF mnalichukuliaje na nini mtazamo wenu?
Haya ndio masuala ambayo sisi kama watetezi wa haki za binadamu au shirika la utetezi tunapenda sana, ni moja ya kazi ambayo tunaifanya.
Lakini tatizo hili limekuwa sugu kwa hivi karibuni. Hili linaleta tafsiri gani kwa nchi ya Tanzania kiujumla? Mnasimamia wapi mpaka hivi sasa, na je, mmekwisha kutoa tamko lolote?
Ndio, sisi tulitoa statement yetu. Sasa ni jambo la kutisha sana kuona mambo yanaendelea, na inatisha sasa hivi sana. Watu wanaonekana kukasirishwa sana na matukio ya namna hii.
Darubini ya Afrika kila Jumatatu hadi Ijumaa kuanzia saa 11 kamili hadi saa 12 kamili jioni majira ya Afrika ya Kati.
Midday vibes, great programming, and good company. This is Channel Africa. The Upside. On The Upside, your voice matters.
Been on the road for a while, brother, you know why. 247, I'm moving, so I go day alright. Dreams untold every day, I don't need to tell no one. Or up Bobby with Solomon, I don't want to hear trilogy no more. Skating is a lifestyle, skating, skating, skating. Skating is a part of me, part of me. Skating is a lifestyle, skating, skating, skating. Skating is a part of me. Them know it's a part of me, it's a part of energy. Too much steez, Mmatsheko. Before them wake, go to jalo. Still to speed, want to follow. Back a look, baby, shin low. Still on still, I just stack up. Kunita phone, I want power. Let me sound, nibo sibo. On a flipping level, more sexy. You know bad man too, jiggy jiggy. You live for 2 pack, malo 30. Can't do life for my enemies. Any day you see the boy, it's a good vibe. Every morning getting money, then we flipping. Shut down on the city, good time to the city. Skating is a lifestyle. Skating, skating, skating. Skating is a part of me. Skating is a lifestyle. Skating, skating, skating. Skating is a part of me. Skating is a lifestyle. Skating, skating, skating. Skating is a part of me. Skating is a lifestyle. Skating, skating, skating. Skating is a part of me. Chasing my dreams. If I can't balance, shala, you got take it easy, my G. If I give you space, it is not my fault. I say nobody perfect. Sometimes I want in my zone. I want zone out, waiting at the reason I can't tell. I be make I play you the cassette. Oh no. Getting paid, baby Chico.
10 minutes before 2 p.m. Central African time. You listening to that song, huh? Ashake. Skating. Huh? And before that was a double play. Before that we had the Soul Brothers with Standwa. Well, let's take a quick breather. When we get back, it's time for Vent O'Clock.
It's back.
Hi there. Do you want to elevate your business and give it a voice in South Africa and Africa as a whole? Well, in that case, let Channel Africa make this a possibility. Channel Africa is willing to advertise your business for as little as 30,000 rands or $1,719.18. To get access to these great rates, send all requests to mukwenata@SABC. That's MOKOENATA@SABC. Channel Africa, the African perspective. We take no sides, none whatsoever. We are the Upside.
It's time for Vent O'Clock. Get it off your chest and live a much lighter and brighter life. Go about your day feeling light, as if the weight of the world has been lifted from your shoulders. That's what Vent O'Clock is all about. Okay. And I understand that you haven't felt the need to vent. Everything is nice for you. Really?
No, actually,
really?
I just remembered. I had a moment, although I ended up removing it because like weird people that have never commented on my WhatsApp status were all of a sudden very excited.
What happened?
No, I had a moment of weakness this week. Somebody, because people obviously now have lots of opinions about my weight, and you don't know what's going on in my life. You don't know why I look like this. So, zip it. Don't say anything about my weight. I would prefer if you went to your friends and you gossiped.
Okay.
Yes.
Or not,
rather go and
not
gossip.
to you directly.
No, I don't want to hear it because I already know, and I know what I'm going through. You have no idea what I'm going through. Go gossip. Go gossip about it. I think that's a much safer option for you. How's that? So I put that in my WhatsApp status. And I ended up blocking quite a few people because I don't know why they were all of a sudden. So, are you okay? I mean, these people, and when I post something beautiful and shiny and amazing, and I've got red lipstick on, they don't say anything. But now that I say don't gossip about my weight, they have all these concerns, all these things to say. So I blocked quite a few people. But perhaps, yeah, that's what I want to vent about is please don't say anything about people's weight, whether they've lost or gained, because people are going through stuff, right? And they don't owe you an explanation. And maybe that's how you were socialized, right?
That's true.
To go around commenting about people's weight. Ooh, you look so, you've lost weight. Ooh, you've gained so much weight. Don't say anything about my weight. Don't say anything about anybody's weight, because you know absolutely nothing. And you commenting about my weight doesn't make you more intelligent. What I would be doing is working on my craft. That's what I would be doing. Getting an education, working on my craft, working on my looks, working on self, and forget about other people and their weight and what they are going through. Leave us alone. Thank you. We already know what we're going through, and we don't need your silly little opinions.
Didn't that feel good?
No, it did not.
No.
It raised my blood pressure a little
Be honest,
bit.
didn't it feel good? Just a little bit. Just a little bit. You got it off your chest. I got to say it.
Okay, maybe a little bit. Maybe just a little bit.
Because you've been probably going through it on your own, by yourself, in your mind about it, responding to these people, and then you action it, you block it. Now you got to say it.
Oh, I blocked quite a few people. Oh, my block button. Oh man, it was overactive.
Wait, are they going to be unblocked, or is this a temporary block? Which one is it? It's a permanent block.
If I put you in the rubbish bin, that's where you're going to stay, because that's where you belong. And until you can prove that you can behave yourself.
But in order for them to prove, they would have to be unblocked.
Well, I don't know. I'd have to read that you've won an award in the newspapers. Then I would be like,
okay.
Suddenly it looks like they've been working on themselves. I might just unblock you.
Okay.
But listen, actually, it's not just about, if you come at me with a weird energy, I will block you. And not just physically on WhatsApp or Facebook, I will just block you energetically. You will have absolutely no access to me until you can behave yourself. End of story.
All right. Thank you very much.
Because I don't go around provoking people.
No. Thank you very much for the vent. This is a judgment-free zone.
Are you feeling like, maybe I shouldn't have asked?
No, not at all. Not at all. Reason is, this is a safe space to vet. Guys, we go through so much in a typical day. There's a lot that we experience that we don't really vent. We don't have the platform to vent, and sometimes we do it in a very negative way. Sometimes just expressing it, just letting it out. Let it out. So you can live a lighter, brighter, and an even better day, man. Just go about your day now, because you've released it into the universe. Here's my...
Tell us yours, please.
It's a quick vent. I've got two of them, actually.
Okay.
The first one is that I've noticed that because there's going to be a G20 summit in South Africa.
Yes.
Sometime in...
around the corner.
November. End of November. In Johannesburg. All the roads are currently being fixed. All of the main roads, go to the entries, the what. Even in Germiston, there where I live, roads are being fixed.
Toxic positivity.
That's a toxic positivity situation right
really?
there. What took so long? Okay, I don't mind them being fixed. Fantastic, they're getting fixed. Now our cars, can drive on smoother roads. Fantastic. But now they're causing so much backlog in terms of traffic, because every other road is being fixed. And what took so long for them to get to this point where they're fixing the roads? Why did we have to wait until there was a G20 in Tontoni to fix the roads? It took too long. All right, that's my event. To say I appreciate that the roads are being fixed, but all of them at once. And also, what took so long? Did we have to have a G20 summit for them to take the roads seriously? And no, to take our cars and our lives seriously and fix the roads when they needed to all these years. Second vent.
Take a deep breath.
Showers. I've experienced quite a few showers over my travels over the past few years.
Yes.
You know, outdoor showers, indoor showers, fancy showers, basic showers. I've experienced them all. I realized that. What is happening?
I'm just waiting for the epiphany. I'm excited.
I realized that a lot of these showers are not built and designed for functionality. They are designed simply for aesthetics. They look nice. Can I please have tissue?
Elaborate,
while my nose drips.
Yeah.
So what happened is that you find a shower, right, that looks beautiful, but it doesn't operate and function well as a shower. The water pressure is not consistent, doesn't flow properly. Thank you very much. The hot water is not hot when you pull the hot. The cold is not cold. The doors don't seal properly, so you're splashing water everywhere. And where there are no doors, you're just flooding the whole bathroom because there's no proper drainage system. Please, designers of interior, whatever you call yourselves,
plumbers, work together.
Please work together. Functionality and practicality first, and then you can design it as beautifully as you'd like. Some of the best showers I've taken did not come from the fanciest showers. They came from showers that simply just worked as a shower. The water pressure was fantastic.
And it's doing its job.
Can you please? I love the designs. I love the aesthetics of them all, but make them work first, and then you can design them as beautifully as you like. Those are my events for today.
I have to 150% agree with you.
Thank you very much.
Because, I mean, then what's the point? If I can get clean and feel like, you know, I got the right ratio of hot and cold, as in where I should have it, what is the point?
Hey, some of them are so tiny. This week I was in a shower.
Oh no, we can't do tiny. And also where the head is teeny tiny, I can't do that.
It's tiny. And then they've got extra steps. Why is that extra step in the bathroom? The bathroom is already small. Why is there an extra step? I got my knees and my shins got scratched so many times. It's 2 p.m. Central African time. Let's get the latest news.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Thank you, Tebogo. Looking at your top stories, the African Union suspends Madagascar from the organization, and anti-government protests in Peru leave many injured. Your latest news. Greetings to our listeners. The African Union has suspended Madagascar. This is as the leader of a military coup will be sworn in as the country's president tomorrow. AU Commission Chairperson Muhammad Ali Yusuf noted the suspension was with immediate effect. Meanwhile, SADC has elected a panel of elders in a bid to de-escalate tensions. The panel will be led by Malawi's former President Joyce Banda. Political analyst advocate Toki Ramilison explains.
I can safely say that for the general public, the population in Madagascar, the so-called military takeover comes as a relief. It's a reassurance. When President Rajoelina left the country without resigning, he left a vacuum, but he also left a political and legal limbo. Then the president of the Senate, who was supposed to be number 2 of the government, also went missing. So the only remaining legal institution was the National Assembly, and the National Assembly voted the impeachment of the president.
Operations have been suspended at Kenya's main airport after thousands of mourners turned out to receive the body of the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga. Large crowds of mourners carrying twigs and palm branches breached security at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport immediately after the body of the former leader arrived earlier. Authorities say mourners gained access to restricted areas, prompting a precautionary closure to allow security teams to restore order and to ensure safety. The 80-year-old collapsed during a morning walk in India yesterday in what is suspected to be a cardiac arrest. Because of the unexpectedly huge crowds, the public viewing ceremony for his body has been moved moved to Nairobi's Moi International Sports Centre rather than inside Parliament. South Africa's police minister, Senzo Mchunu, who has been placed on special leave, says he became aware of the political killings task team before he became minister. He is the fourth witness testifying at the ad hoc committee investigating allegations of criminal infiltration, corruption and political interference in the justice system. The committee's evidence leader, Advocate Norman Arensir, is leading his evidence-in-chief. Mchunu, who is accused of giving directive to disband the PKTT, explains.
That's how I thought about it, and that's how far I went in thinking about what I'd been thrust into.
The South African National Defence Forces Chief of Joint Operations says they are hopeful that the Parliament's Joint Standing Committee on Defence will address challenges facing troops deployed to combat illegal activities at the borderlines across the country. General P.U.S. Sangweni was speaking at a meeting held by the committee in Masina in the Limpopo province. The SANDF Border Management Authority and others working at the Bridgewater Post and borderline with Zimbabwe are presenting their challenges to committee members. Sangweni explains.
Sometimes when we report, we felt as if they don't want to understand, or they don't understand, or they don't want to understand, and we get a bit unhappy. I'm very straight to saying I personally and the leadership of the DOD, we are concerned that government seems not to be listening to us, whilst they need us as the defence force, and the people of South Africa does need the defence force that is fully capacitated and is able to do their work accordingly.
Lastly, one person has been killed and more than 100 injured during anti-government protests in Peru. The authorities said most of those injured were police officers. Clashes broke out as security forces sought to disperse demonstrators trying to reach Congress in the capital, Lima. The BBC's Mimi Swebe.
What started as a peaceful protest in Peru's capital ended in violence and chaos. It was the first large demonstration since the new Peruvian president, José Herri, was sworn in, promising a swift crackdown on crime. Gen Z-led protests first erupted in late September, triggered by pension reforms affecting young people. But they quickly escalated with crowds expressing anger over corruption and growing insecurity. Young people were joined by transport workers who say the government is not doing enough to combat extortion. President Herri accused criminals of infiltrating the latest demonstration, looking to stoke violence.
Recapping on your top stories, the African Union has suspended Madagascar. This is as the leader of the military coup will be sworn in as the country's president tomorrow. Channel Africa News, I'm Onele Nzinzi.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
It has gone 7 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African time. Welcome to the second hour, the golden hour of The Upside, your gateway to the good life on Channel Africa, the African Perspective with Tebogo, Lekhuleni and Mmatsheko, Mosito. We're still coming to you live from the Auckland Park Studios in Johannesburg, South Africa. Happy Thursday. Thank you so much for tuning in this afternoon. Catch us live on our social media platforms at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube, and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok, or go to our brand new, our revamped website, www.channelafrica.co.za. In this hour of The Upside, we are talking all things Golofu. How are we talking Golofu? We've been talking about golf these past few weeks. On the upside, golf has become our show sport. As a national sport, our show sport is now golf, because that's where the elite go.
I think what's wonderful about our coverage of sporting codes and golf in particular, as you mentioned, is that we're looking at it from such diverse perspectives.
Yeah.
You know, we looked at it as, and a lot of it carries empowerment, which is so beautiful. So it's not just about learning the beautiful, sophisticated game, but also how does it impact social spaces? You know, how does it improve girls' education? I mean, could you link golf to girls' education? Well, that's what we're going to be doing in this hour. When we look at, there's a venue called Blair Athol Golf Course. It's in a place called Lanseria in the city of Johannesburg, rather, here in South Africa. And they're going to be hosting the first annual Inanda Seminary Charity Golf Day. And it gathers women of influence, change makers, conscious change makers, and so many wonderful people with one mission. And that is to sustain Southern Africa's first boarding school for African girls.
How beautiful is that?
I mean, have you heard of a better concept? No. So we're going to be talking about this. We're going to be joined by two special women who are very much involved. We want you to stick around so you can find out how they're involved. One of them is a fabulous fashion designer, and we're going to talk about the mission and this gathering and what it means for those that are involved to sustain Southern Africa's first boarding school for African girls.
I love that.
Love it, love it, love it. What's there not to love?
Listen, it's brilliant. And also, it was the alumni who stepped up and said, listen, we need to do something. We're experiencing a bit of financial challenges. How can we ensure that we empower the girls and create a long-lasting platform and a school that will benefit generations and generations to come? And so they came up with this idea. It was the alumni. You see, it's very important to go back to the schools where you came from and give back to them, because what you've learned through life and work, you can take back and empower those very platforms that taught you to be the person that you are today. So I'm very excited about this initiative. We'll be chatting about this charity golf day right after this. It's 10 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African time. Welcome to the second hour, the golden hour of The Upside.
Parlez-vous couramment le français? Êtes-vous passionné par la radio? Et êtes-vous qualifié pour travailler en Afrique du Sud? Envoyez-nous votre CV et votre 3 minutes démo en MP3 à @channelafrica.co.za pour avoir une chance de rejoindre la famille Channel Africa. Si vous n'avez pas de réponse après 14 jours, cela signifie que vous n'avez pas été retenu. Channel Africa, la perspective africaine.
Broadcasting in 5 different languages, connecting the continent. This is Channel Africa, the African perspective. Your afternoons just got even better, fresh and exciting. The Upside, hooking you up with today's news from an African perspective. Call us on +27 63 406 9126.
I can see my whole world changing.
And contribute to the conversation.
I go lock you down like criminal. One touch feeling like 1 million. People just say what you like a cinema. Wine bandit thing like carnival. Make sure you do nobody else like you. Baby, don't whine when you see, come give me that. Jump up on my body like animal. Dance make you feel like carnival. I go lock you down like criminal. One touch feeling like 1 million. People just say what you like a cinema. Wine bandit thing like carnival. Make sure you do nobody else like me. Just that approved and trusted. Just that approved and trusted. Oh, please believe. just want some pepper for the center. Baby gyrate, your waistline. Roll it down, no slow down. Just bring them to me down. Submit down, no teasing. Yeah. Baby, don't whine pan your seat, come give me that. Jump up on my body like animal. Dance make you feel like carnival. I go lock you down like criminal. One touch feeling like 1 million. People just they watch you like a cinema. Wine bandit thing like carnival. Make sure you do nobody else like this. One jassy, the way you do fantastic. Have to put on glasses. Make you no blind me with this your body. When I see you whining for the wall, make me want to turn into the wall. Make me feel like we know they for real life. Everything nice where you are. Baby, don't whine when you see it, come give me that. Jump up on my body like animal. Dance make you feel like carnival. I go lock you down like criminal. One touch feeling like 1 million. People just they watch you like a cinema. Wine bandit thing like carnival. Make sure you do nobody else like me. Tested, approved and trusted. Tested, approved and trusted. Oh, please believe. Tested, approved and trusted. Tested, approved and trusted.
Fourteen minutes after 2 p.m. Central African Time. Burna Boy coming through there with Tested, Approved, and Trusted. I think that should be the name of Inanda seminar, or the slogan. Tested, what's the other one? Tested, Approved, and Trusted.
I love that. That sounds like it makes sense. Look, we're talking about the space of creativity and lifestyle really meeting for grand purpose. The elegance and the elegance of purpose rather meets the sophistication of style as Inanda Seminary alumni step into the green for a cause. All right, so we're looking here at an event that's going to be taking place at Blair Athol Golf Course in Lanseria here in the city of Johannesburg. This is the first annual Inanda Seminary Charity Golf Day that gathers women of influence. So we're talking here about people that participate in thought leadership and fashion, conscious change makers as well, all united for one mission, and that is to sustain Southern Africa's first boarding school for African girls. So beyond the fairways, the event is really about purpose, where elegance and empowerment walk hand in hand. So fashion houses, including David Lale, Imprint ZA, House of Fabro Sands, they're amazing. I've worn some of their garments and they're absolutely amazing. They're all going to be contributing exclusive pieces for auction. Okay, a reminder that style and substance can coexist beautifully. So let's have a conversation, okay? We would love to also have a conversation with Sandy Mazibuko, who is founder of House of Fabro Sands. But on the line with us, we've got Togo Mpumlwana, who's chairperson of the South African Women in Dialogue. And we're going to talk about this wonderful occasion. Togo, welcome to Channel Africa. Pleasure to talk to you this afternoon.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this opportunity. We really appreciate it as Inanda Seminary alumni.
Absolutely, Sis Togo. Let's talk about this. This is such a noble idea, but it's also very creative in its curation, because it's bringing on fashion, but with a purpose. So talk to us about putting this together and making sure that you uphold the legacy of what you're trying to build here.
Thank you. The beauty of this event, and I must say that it was held on the 9th of October. So we are now reflecting on what has happened.
Right.
We had a golf day And we called on all South Africans that want to keep the legacy of the school to buy 4 balls. And then we then curated a dinner where people would offer items for auction. And then the younger people in the group said to us, include fashion, people who, young creatives, are also role models to young African girls, because we need to expose them to other areas of creativity that they can follow in the future, to show them that fashion, South African brands are just as good as any other brand, that they can aspire to be those as well. But also the important thing is that we also believe that people must give back. And so the people who have actually, through creativity, benefited through all the efforts, including, I must say, of government pushing South African brands to really be visible through tourism, through small businesses, through arts and culture, to say to them, lift others as you rise. So they came on board, the brand we have mentioned, but also in the brand is a mature, Tina Eboka is in the steering committee of Inanda. She's an Inanda girl. So she said, I'll start with my own partner. I've asked him to come on board.
Yes.
So we had a pre-event at Eboka House, and then later at the event itself, they offered as well to do a dress, to make a dress to whoever can auction higher than others. So we had David Kale, we had Fibrosense. I hope Sandy will come and explain her vision with us. We're very proud of them. We really are.
Well, we are reflecting on the first annual Inanda Seminary Charity Golf Day, where elegance of purpose met the sophistication of style. It's 20 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African time. We'll continue our conversation right after this.
Africa at Play with Neto and ETO Chairmane.
I've witnessed something fresh, something exciting, and something very inspirational from the president of the country, William Ruto. Whenever athletes are performing to their best level, he always comes on board to reward those athletes, be it football, be it athletics, and not leaving it up to the sport ministry.
The president realizes that sports is a business, and for that reason, he also reduces the number of people who are jobless, because sports now is such a serious business, and for that reason, commercialization of sports is a major way of improving or increasing employment opportunities for the young people, and that is why the president has been very persistent in trying as much as possible to inspire more sports personalities to reduce the baggage of the people who are struggling to get job opportunities in the country among the young people.
Francis F.M. Motegi, our correspondent from East Africa in Nairobi, Kenya.
Live every Saturday and Sunday from 2 to 5 p.m. Central African time. They talk about what Africans say about Africa.
21 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African time, we are talking about legacy, education, and elegance as we reflect on the first annual Inanda Seminary Charity Golf Day, which brought together women of influence earlier this month of October through leaders and fashion-forward changemakers, all united by one mission: to sustain Southern Africa's first boarding school for African girls. And we're still in conversation with Togo Mpumlwana, chairperson of South African Women in Dialogue. Togo, let's talk about the legacy of Inanda, because Inanda Seminary, 156 years. Why was it so important to protect this institution today through this initiative?
The motto of Inanda Seminary is shine where you are. And it was started with an intention to build African leadership. African girls had to get through education despite the hardships of the past, of colonialism, of apartheid, of all the difficulties we had, we were sent to these schools. Some of us got bursaries. That's why we believe that this school must be sustained. But the values we got there are such that today we boast of women in leadership in Southern Africa who really are flying the flag of Inanda Seminary. And we are saying such schools anywhere in the continent must be nurtured, must be kept, so that the values of Africa and the flag of the African Union and the various countries should fly, because women are in the majority in the continent, and women want to be part of the solution in the continent to make sure that we really build a sustainable continent. And so we want to make sure, as girls of Inanda Seminary, that what we got is what we give to the coming generations. Of course, there are other schools that have come up, but we know what we got from Inanda. And we want to make sure that those young girls who are able to get this education, but also the value of going to a boarding school for some children is profound, given sometimes some of the families that are dysfunctional. So to rescue a child with a potential, you send it to a school like Inanda, she gets the values, the content, the self-pride, the pride of being a girl and a leader, and of being an African, is such that the future is in their hands, and we want to make sure that we pass the batons to them, and we can be assured that they will do the right things as we try to do the right thing.
Mmatsheko, this work is very important to you, and I want to talk to you now in your capacity as the chairperson of SAWID, the South African Women in Dialogue. Please talk to us about what underpins the existence of this organization, because education, it being such a grand passion of yours as a former teacher who's now sitting on many boards and running, such wonderful initiatives like the one we're talking about today. Talk to us about the role of educating a girl child, particularly here in Southern Africa, where there are many spaces that are still trying to develop. So as we develop the girl child, what does that mean for 2025 and beyond?
South African Women in Dialogue believes that women have a voice, women have a place in policy, women have a role to play in developing their communities, as well as the spaces where they are. And so for that reason, SAWID believes that we are part of the solutions. We cannot sit back and expect things to be done for us. And so education is successful, is what we believe in as SAWID. So education is just part of the solution, is part of the mix of this solution we're trying to get. And so when we get young people who are creatives, it is important to know that young people who are creatives are also adding to what we are trying to do, to say, use the skills you have as a young girl. You don't have to be whatever, but you can be a creative that gives jobs to other people.
Right.
That make where you can start something small and you solve a problem. And so as I see Sandy dressed in her outfit, maybe we should give her an opportunity, because I can talk forever. Thank you.
And let's introduce Usandi Mazibuko, powerhouse designer and the founder of House of Fabro Sands. Sandy, thank you so much for joining in on the conversation. Let's talk about your role at this year's Charity Golf Day, and talk specifically about that exclusive piece Fabro Sands had contributed to this auction. Hello, Sandy. Can you hear us? I think we can see her on the screen, but I don't think we can hear her at the moment. All right, we'll try and. Oh, that's sad. we'll try and get Sandy
I,
on.
I just want to say that as we are trying to connect her, they are our pride for some of us. They are our pride because we grew up with mothers who used to sew for us. Now they are designers that are known, that produce clothes that go international. I mean, for an Inanda girl to know that they are supported by such people, they should really be looking up and say, I want to be like her. So I hope you are able to get something from her. And if you don't, I really would like to thank them, all of them, and including even the males, by the way, who are creatives, who contributed their outfits, and the artists that produced beautiful art items for us to say, for an Inanda girl, we are grateful. For those girls who come from families that wish for the skies for their girls, they contributed, and they will be remembered when we start this endowment fund, because we're intending to start an endowment fund where people can put money so that the school is never in want. It's never, because it's not supported by government. It's a private school that we want to keep like that, so that even the curriculum can be what we really want as alumni of the school.
Oh, this such important work. Mmatsheko, thank you so much for the time. It was such an honor to have met you and to speak to you about the important work. Should we wish to perhaps just look at other work that you're doing and to engage with other, sort of dialogues, if you will, around social and educational matters, where can we go? Is there a website that Saweed has that we can go and see what other events are coming up and how we can contribute in meaningful ways?
Yes, we have a website on saweed.org.za. And because we're also talking about Inanda, because we want people to contribute to Inanda, they also have inanda.org. And not ZA, but inanda.org. So on both fronts, please go there and be part of the solution and the growth of the continent of Africa.
Okay, sounds wonderful. Thank you very much. The voice coming through of Togo Mpumlwana, who is joining us in her capacity as chairperson of South African Women in Dialogue, SAWID. And we're talking about how they've gathered very influential women, in education, in thought leadership, in conscious change making, to see how they can gather and sustain Southern Africa's first boarding school for African girls. Such a mission. A beautiful, profound mission. It's 2:31.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
It's a very good afternoon from the sports desk. I am Musibu Dimakura with the latest sports news at the Sawa. So the road to the group stages of the Total Energies CAF Champions League 2025-2026 group stages reaches its final hurdle this weekend as the first leg matches of the second preliminary round are played across the continent from the 17th until the 19th of October. So continental heavyweights enter at this stage while several informed sides arrive with momentum from the opening round, setting up a compelling set of fixtures. So record 12-time African champions Al Ali of Egypt begin their campaign away to Aigel Noor of Burundi, with the coach Jess Thorpe's men looking to start their title charge on a strong possible note. Another headline ties sees Nigeria's Remo Stars take on South African powerhouse Mamelodi Sundowns, a mouth-watering West African versus South Continental clash between the two dynamic clubs in their regions at the moment, with the win, of course, over the two legs and qualifying for the group stages of this Continental Cup competition. Back home now, Hugo Bruce, the head coach of the South African men's football team, has broken down just how he managed to transform the team and says players' mentality formed a key part of this success. So after leading Bafana Bafana to their first ever World Cup through the qualifiers in 24 years, Bruce took the media through the process of what it takes to be a senior national team player. He also says players have understood what he is all about in the past 4 years.
Suddenly, players understood what I wanted. Suddenly, players knew that you have to work very hard to perform and to achieve something. And that was for me when I went to games to look for players. For me, the first thing I saw was the mentality on the pitch. The rest, okay. I will see it later. But just that man has the right mentality.
So as he looks now forward to the next Africa Cup of Nations tournament in Morocco in December of this year, Bruce also warned that this year's edition will be quite very different from the previous one in the Ivory Coast, from which South Africa returned home with a bronze medal.
I can say already now that the next AFCON will be totally different than the AFCON 2 years ago, because everybody knows South Africa now. When we went 2 years ago to AFCON, there were many people who were asking themselves what are they going to do in AFCON with those players. But we did it. And I think there were opponents also there in AFCON that thought the same thing. Wow, South Africa, wow. This will not be the case anymore now.
On to tennis news now. World number one Carlos Alcaraz has defended his decision to play in the lucrative Six Kings Slam exhibition event in Saudi Arabia after previously saying he would consider skipping the ATP Tour events to prioritize his health due to a crowded schedule. Now, the men's as well as the women's circuits, which runs across 11 months with extended formats at several tournaments, have come under fresh scrutiny during the Asian swing, where extreme heat as well as humidity have contributed to the spat of injuries as well as withdrawals. Now, the Professional Tennis Players Association filed a lawsuit against the sports governing bodies in March of this year, calling the scheduling situation unsustainable. Now, after winning the Tokyo title just last month despite playing with an ankle injury, Alcaraz withdrew from the next event in Shanghai, saying he needed more time to recover. Now, his decision to play in the Six Kings Slam, which offers a reported $1.5 million in appearance money, with the winners check $6 million, stoked plenty of criticism from the fans. Meanwhile, Britain's world number one ranked Britain's number one player, that is Emma Raducanu, has withdrawn from her final two events of this year because of the illness that she has been battling for the past 10 days. The 22-time Grand Slam winner was due to play in Tokyo as well as Hong Kong, but has decided to fly home to recover before returning to the circuit in early 2026. Now, those preparations that she will then engage in the next coming months in the build-up to 2026 would include coach Francesco Rogue, as the pair have now agreed to work together as of next season. Raducanu had her blood pressure taken during the first round match with Anne Liu in Wuhan just last week and retired while trailing 6-1 and 4-1 on an oppressively humid day. She again required a visit from her doctor at this week's Ningbo Open, where she lost in 3 sets to Chinese wildcard Zhu Lin in the opening round of this year's tournament. Well, it's 14:36 p.m. Central African time, and that's a wrap from the sports desk at the Sawa. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, our email address is newsroom@channelafrica.co.za, or call us on +27 11714 4459. For Channel Africa Sport, I am Mosibudi Makura.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective. 9 to 12 midday, Central African Time. On the Move with Palisa Tau and Benjamin Mushatami.
Should influencers be expected to be impactful in society? If there is a social or societal conversation that goes up, should we be waiting eagerly to hear what the influencers have to say?
They are more than just entertainers. They are thought leaders to some certain degree. They influence culture, they influence people's thought processes, they set trends, they shape opinions of people. And the sad reality is, although a lot of them don't want to accept it, I think we're getting better with them realizing that embarking in that journey and in that space comes with a certain level of responsibility.
I see it differently in that, professionals are already good at their job, but there is an optionality that they might have to use the position that they hold in society to be able to deliver a message. This year you made the example of actors and actresses. So the same could apply to a sportsman. Just because someone's good at soccer doesn't mean that they have to have an interest of a society from a specific standpoint.
Keeping you on the know and on the move.
38 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African Time. Let's find out how the markets are moving with Chanduko Likeke.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Thank you, Tebogo. Good afternoon. Guinea's bauxite exports surged 23% year-on-year in the third quarter, defying heavy rains and regulatory headwinds. Guinea's Ministry of Mines and Geology says shipments of the critical aluminium feedstock rose to 39.41 million metric tons, up from 32 million in quarter 4 of 2024. Monthly shipments from Guinea, which is the world's second largest bauxite producer, averaged 13.14 million tons in quarter 3, down nearly 19% from the first half as heavy rains disrupted mine access and slowed port operations, underscoring seasonal volatility in the country's supply chain. South African food producer Premier Group has agreed to acquire all shares of RFG through a share swap deal in which RFG shareholders will take a 22.5% stake in the combined group. Premier says RFG, a producer of convenience meal solutions such as canned food and corned meat, will complement its existing portfolio of bakery, maize, rice and sugar and broaden its market reach. Under the terms of the transaction implementation agreement, Premier will offer 1 Premier share for every 7 RFG shares based on reference prices of $8.88 per Premier share and 22 Rand per RFG share. Food and beverage giant Nestle says it will cut 16,000 jobs over the next 2 years as its new CEO Philippe Navratil pushes to focus on products with the highest potential returns. The Swiss company must change faster to keep pace with a changing world and adopt a performance mindset that does not accept losing market share to rivals. He replaced the former CEO who was fired in September over a romantic relationship with an employee. The job cuts were announced today as Nestle reported better sales figures in the first 9 months of 2025, selling more products across its major categories, including coffee and sweets. The Indian government has insisted its main objective is to safeguard the interest of Indian consumers in a volatile energy market. This after US President Donald Trump claimed Prime Minister Narendra Modi had assured him India would stop purchasing Russian oil. A statement from India's foreign ministry neither confirmed nor denied that Delhi was shifting its energy policy. In August, the Trump administration imposed a 50% tariff on goods from India as punishment for buying Russian oil and weapons. The BBC's Arunodaya Mukherjee reports.
India has consistently resisted growing pressure from the US over its Russian oil imports, saying it needs to secure its energy requirements given the rising population and rapidly growing economy. In a statement, the Foreign Ministry indicated, however, that the government was open to diversifying as appropriate to meet market conditions. Reacting to President Trump's remarks, the statement said discussions were ongoing with the US administration, which they said had shown interest in deepening energy cooperation with India.
One US dollar in Nigeria is trading at 1,460 naira, Botswana 13 pula 26, Kenya the dollar is 128 shilling 8, Zambia 22 kwacha 52. BRICS countries, $1 in Brazil is at 5 trill 46, in Russia 78 rubles 88, India 88 rupee 15, China 71.13, South Africa 17 rand 32 cents. $1 is 74 pence to the British pound, 85 to the euro. Commodities, gold is at $2,246, platinum at $1,681 per ounce. The price of Brent crude oil at $62.47 a barrel. That is all for now. For any business stories you'd like to share with us, please send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za, or you can call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business, I am Chanduko Ligege.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective. Got something to say? Are you passionate about issues that matter? Do you have a voice that deserves to be heard? Well, we've got the perfect platform for you. Call in or drop us a WhatsApp on +27 63 406 9126, and we will call you back so you could have your say and be part of the conversation.
30 years of age. I just turned 30 on the 15th of November. So yeah, that's who I am, you know.
It's not just talk. It's your chance to air your views. Share your opinion. Engage with the community that values your perspective. Follow us on our social media. Visit our website at www.channelafrica.co.za and get ready to share your views on Channel Africa, the African perspective. No matter where you are, Channel Africa is always with you. No fairy tales, just the facts and the music you love on Channel Africa.
Tell umoya kubantwana bakho njengokuba wenzile nakimi unomono magayeka wena bona magayeka unimeta tuminimeta ilimeta autometa. Shout out to my family and my man, to the ones where they sing my song and the ones that dance along. From Lagos, Nigeria down to South Africa. With the big, I want them in bachelor. No wahala, I get the money for wahala. On my prayers, I go celebrate and dance. Yeah,
47 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African Time. Meta by Nomcebo Zikota. Is it Zikota? No, you see, I said it wrong. And Fireboy DML and Zofia is on that song. In fact, what you should do is Shazam it, then you can add it to your playlist. Easy.
That's a great idea.
That's a much easier way of doing it, in all honesty. We get ready now for what caught your eye. Quite a few things are happening. Right now, I can't remember what day it is of the Madlanga Commission.
Mm-hmm.
I know that the police minister is currently testifying. It's a very interesting one, that one. We'll keep you abreast, obviously, throughout the other shows on the testimonies and what's happening there. Before we actually get into what caught your eye, which will take place in about 2 minutes' time, just after 10 minutes to 3 p.m. Central African Time. Congratulations to Bafana Bafana. I wasn't here. I wasn't here to congratulate them.
To make a noise about
I wasn't
it.
here. Oh, no, I wasn't here. Congratulations to Bafana Bafana.
Yes.
For qualifying for next year's FIFA World Cup. And shout out to Nigeria. They played a pivotal role. No, actually, no, not really a pivotal. But they helped. They were brothers in arms, all right? Them playing Benin and beating Benin solidified South Africa's top position in their group when they played against Rwanda, beating them 3-0. What a revenge that was, because Rwanda had beaten South Africa not too long ago. It was a 2-0 affair. So congratulations to the Hugo Bruce of the world and his team. We are proud. Some were even saying that there used to be a Bok Friday. Remember the Spring Bok Friday when they were playing the Rugby World Cups and so on? There must be a Bafana Friday going forward until the World Cup. And I think we
almost
need to
said something so ugly.
What did you almost say?
Until they,
What did you almost say?
Until we buy tickets to go see them at the US.
Well, Mmatsheko, really? Really? Gayton will take you there because clearly he wants to go.
Well, he can go.
No, he wants to go. Gayton, I mean, we were celebrating as a nation, as sports lovers, as South Africans. We were very excited when South Africa won that game. We were celebrating, ecstatic. Until we saw Gayton also celebrating, and he's like, he was adding himself into situations, and I didn't want to see him on my screen as much as.
Are you surprised? I don't know why you are surprised about that behavior from that gentleman.
Anyway, you were saying yes.
But I was saying that I think it's so fascinating hearing how your voices as men, firstly, it changes, tone shifts, priorities move around when there isn't. I mean, I heard language like, no, tonight is a very important game. This one is very important.
Yes, it was.
That another day.
Yes, it was.
Hey, I was like, what?
A historic day it was indeed.
This is a person that usually talks like, no, man. No, this is a very important.
It was.
This is important.
It was, Mmatsheko. It really
What does football
was.
do to your psyche?
We are a football nation. We are a football continent.
Bunch of masculines. That's what you are. Football bunch of masculines.
Fair enough, but
this is a very important game.
Very important game.
And I'm not watching it at home.
No.
I need to be. I need to be in a place with spirit.
Yeah. You couldn't.
Hey,
the different
That's
types of
what I
spirits.
heard.
Yes, you couldn't watch it by yourself. You couldn't watch that game by yourself. I was disappointed that the stadium was not packed out in Mbombela. People
Actually,
there in
that was
Mbombela.
surprising.
They let me down there. But hey, what a celebration!
Very important.
A very important game that was indeed. And congratulations to Bafana Bafana. It's 9 minutes to 3 p.m. Central African Time. On the other side of this, we'll get into what caught our eye.
Let the good times roll. From the 10th of October, make a note. Channel Africa is stepping into a brand new era with the launch of our upgraded website and app. It's easy, fresh, and always on your fingertips. Wherever you are in the world, Africa's voice is just a click away. The future of Channel Africa. Okay. Live from the 10th of October. Don't miss the moment. Mmatsheko Mosito and Tebogo Lekhuleni on the upside.
8 minutes before 3 p.m. Central African time. It's time for What Caught Your Eye. So what caught my eye? It happened a few weeks ago.
You sounded like a car.
I know. Brilliant. I need to do sound effects actually.
You do.
Just record them.
ASMR.
You know, radio drama is a real thing, and there's a whole studio. We pass it. Well, not really pass it.
We
every
need to do an upside radio drama.
We really need to, because I walked in that studio this other time, and there are shoes, there are glasses, there are everything, so that it can make the actual authentic sound. So I think I should go there to add the effects and create that upside drama. Which character would you play?
I would play myself.
Okay. All right. So here's what caught my eye. It happened a couple of weeks ago. A young man by the name of Muhammad Yusuf Daniels was trying to sell his cell phone on Facebook Marketplace. This was about a week or so before he got married. Well, he was supposed to get married. Right? The wedding is like in a week's time. He's trying to get some extra cash, and he decided to sell his cell phone and list it on, on Facebook Marketplace.
Right.
Okay. Now, according to some reports, it was a cell phone, it was an iPhone 12, if I'm not mistaken. And he had made arrangements to meet up with the people who are trying to buy the cell phone. And the people who are trying to buy the cell phone are two ladies. And as it were, when they saw them, two ladies and a driver, they met up at some garage there in the Western Cape, in Ottery, if I'm not mistaken, in Cape Town. So they arrived there, and that time it was him, and then I think it's a cousin or nephew or someone else who was with him, and someone else. So there were three people in the car, including Muhammad. They get there, they see a bakkie, and in that bakkie, two ladies are sitting at the back, and one gentleman is sitting in the front. And the lady sort of waved at them to say, "Hey, listen, it's us here. We are here. We are the ones who are coming to buy this cell phone." They got out of the car, the ladies, and they went into the car with Muhammad to check out the phone, right? Just to make sure that it is a proper phone. It's not locked or anything like that. They were dealing with the phone, checking it out. Okay, cool, yeah. And then, for some other reason, the man who was driving the bakkie with the ladies comes up to the window of the car with Abu Muhammad, starts banging on the window, and he points a gun to the head of Muhammad, and he tells them, "Get out of the car, give me all your belongings," and so on and so forth. And at that time, the ladies who were sitting at the back of the car had run back to the bakkie, stolen the phone, right? And somehow they started fighting. There was a tussle that was happening, and then some gunshots were heard from this guy. Muhammad also had a gun, if I'm not mistaken. He also had it was a licensed gun, and he tried to protect and shoot back. And in these crossfires, Muhammad got shot around in the face, and he died. About a week before he was supposed to get married, all because of a cell phone to the value of about 7,000 rand that was listed. It turns out that he had wanted to buy a bed with the proceeds of selling this cell phone. That's the extra bit of funding that he needed. And the police were again warning people and saying, be very careful about these Facebook market and online shopping and online purchasing, because you never know what the motives are of the people who are trying to buy from you.
Right.
And if you are going to buy something or sell something on Facebook Market or anything like that, make sure that you meet up with people in public spaces where there are plenty of other people around. During the day, broad daylight, the police are even suggesting, they're saying, listen, if need be, meet up at the police station. If you want to buy something or sell something, meet up at the police station so you know that you
Love that
are
suggestion.
safe. But my question is, where does Facebook sit in all of this? The accountability of Facebook. Because it's not the first time we hear of such cases. People trying to sell on Facebook Marketplace and then tragedy befalls because of that transaction. Where's the protection for the buyer, the seller? Where's the accountability from the Facebook side of things?
What a horrible story! What a horrible story! And you're right. It's more common than we get to see on a daily basis, because people are trading, and I've heard that it's now become a livelihood for some people to sell.
Because they make a profit, they can add a
Absolutely,
little markup onto it. Yeah.
to sell, used toys and furniture and things like that, and make it an actual living out of this work. But you just never know. And I think because Facebook is just a platform, they really just leave it up to you as an adult to make your own decisions. And I guess they should maybe just encourage the public meetups a bit more. Maybe take away, people's locations off of their platforms and things like that. You share that at your own peril. And because sometimes people go to each other's houses and that sort of thing, and that's not safe. I'm going to keep mine very short today. In fact, it's something we acknowledged yesterday, but today is World Food Day. 16th of October, a day that is recognized by the Food and Agricultural Organization, which is an international organization. And also, I think it's beautiful because it coincides with them turning 80 years old this year. And they've been doing such profound work in creating awareness around, food security, sustainability, climate change, and many other initiatives that support this work. But today is really about raising awareness about global hunger. It's a very important day, and the importance of sustainable food systems around the world, especially in impoverished communities where there aren't a lot of resources. So the theme, as I understand it this year, underscores the urgency of addressing food insecurity, particularly in Africa, as I'd mentioned, and other regions with similar problems. The statistics are quite hectic, okay? 673 million people worldwide experienced hunger in the year 2024. Wow. It is a slight decrease. I think it is a slight decrease from previous years. So are we getting to a point where we are going to be able to eradicate this and get to zero hunger by the year 2030? Would be great if we could be sooner, to be perfectly honest. Before 2030 would be great, but that is the goal, for us to reach zero hunger by the year 2030. So something to think about, peel a couple of carrots, throw them in a pot with a couple of other wholesome ingredients, make a soup, send it out. This is the day to do that and really push your give back button. Very important.
Absolutely. Very important day it is indeed. Today I'll be eating everything on my plate. I'm leaving nothing behind.
Please. Your mom taught you very well.
So that,
I love it.
Yeah. It's 3 p.m. Central African time. Let's get the latest news. Onelin Sinsi is standing by.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Thank you, Tebogo. Looking at your top stories, the former Congolese president announces a movement to save the country, and U.S. officials downplay claims that Hamas is violating the ceasefire deal. Your latest news. Greetings to our listeners. Former Congolese President Joseph Kabila has announced a movement to save his country after meeting with other opposition leaders in Kenya's capital, Nairobi. The meeting, held for 2 days, resolved to rally Congolese to oppose what he refers to as the dictatorship of President Felix Tshisekedi. Kabila was recently sentenced to death back home for war crimes and treason. He rejected the charges of arbitrary but did not appear in court to defend himself. Congolese government spokesperson Patrick Muyaya dismissed the meeting as a non-event and a gathering of fugitives and convicts. An overwhelming turnout of mourners has forced the public viewing of the late Prime Minister Raila Odinga's body to be moved to Kenya's largest stadium instead of Parliament as planned. Earlier, as his remains arrived in Nairobi airport, there was chaotic scenes as mourners overwhelmed the police. The BBC's Anita Nkonge.
Thousands of mourners were seen on the tarmac where the aircraft carrying the late Kenyan leader was. Sounds of motorbike horns, cries, and questions of "where is Raila" were heard from the mourners. The coffin was temporarily locked in the airplane as police attempted to control the crowds. Odinga is expected to be received by President William Ruto and close family members before his coffin is escorted to a funeral home. Later on in the day, there is expected to be an official public viewing of his body at the Parliament building.
The African Union has suspended Madagascar as the leader of a military coup will be sworn in as the country's president tomorrow. AU Commission chairperson Muhammad Ali Yusuf noted the suspension was with immediate effect. Meanwhile, SADC has selected a panel of elders in a bid to de-escalate tensions. The panel will be led by Malawi's former President Joyce Banda. Political analyst advocate Toki Ramilison.
I can safely say that for the general public, the population in Madagascar, the so-called military takeover comes as a relief. It's a reassurance. When President Rajoelina left the country without resigning, he left a vacuum, but he also left a political and legal limbo. Then the president of the Senate, who was supposed to be number 2 of the government, also went missing. So the only remaining legal institution was the National Assembly, and the National Assembly voted the impeachment of the president.
As the world commemorates World Food Day, a non-governmental organization in South Africa, Union Against Hunger, was picketing at the division of the $1 million retail giant Shoprite in Centurion in the Gauteng province of South Africa. The NGO, supported by other organizations, demanded, amongst others, that the retailer lowers their food prices for the sake of the survival of the poor. National organizer of the organization, Esther Paddy, explains.
So that is one of the demands of the Union Against Hunger, that we are asking for shop prices to be dropped because food is very expensive and it's unnecessary. This country, we don't have a problem in terms of food supply. We just have greedy retailers who are making millions. 20 million a day for profit at ShopRite is very unfair in a space where you are living with communities with a very high rate of unemployment. So our call is to say let the prices drop, and we're not saying drop everything, we're just asking for 10 essential foods for people to afford to buy maize meal, to afford to buy milk and eggs, because those are nutritional food.
Lastly, the U.S. officials have downplayed claims that Hamas is violating a ceasefire deal with Israel by not returning all the bodies of the dead hostages. Forensic tests have established that the 2 bodies out of 3 handed over to Israel on Wednesday were hostages, while 19 others remain unaccounted for. The BBC's Yolanda Now.
We had President Trump saying how difficult it was for some of these bodies to be accessed, that they were under rubble, that they were in underground tunnels, he said. And then there was a briefing given by 2 senior advisors from the Trump administration where they said that they were looking with other mediators at different ways to locate the remaining bodies, that they were acting in good faith. And they said that it was possible now a Turkish team of 80 strong experts who have recovered bodies previously after earthquakes, that they could go into Gaza to assist with this effort.
Recapping on your top stories, former Congolese President Joseph Kabila has announced a movement to save his country after a meeting with other opposition leaders in Kenya's capital, Nairobi. Channel Africa News, I'm Onelin Tsinsi.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Well, it's gone 8 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African Time. Welcome to the final hour of The Upside, your gateway to the good life on Channel Africa, the African perspective with Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mmatsheko Mosito. Can you believe another day, okay, so I was going to say another day, another dollar. The day is gone again,
You just
disappeared
said it.
in the final hour. Can you believe it? Can
We're
you
here.
believe it?
We're here.
You can't believe it. Okay. In the final hour, what conversation are we having? I understand it has something to do with fashion, but fashion and confidence and how does that work? Fashion and confidence, is that a thing? Do they go together? Well, they should actually.
They should. Yeah.
But a designer designing for well-being.
Absolutely. It's October. Many important themes are coming to the fore, including mental health awareness. All right, Monday Zakatu, founded by Sanele Makato, is spotlighting the connection between what we wear and how we actually feel. All right, the company works in embroidery, sublimation,
that one. Listen properly.
No,
Listen properly.
I'm not going to say that and humiliate myself. But it's going to be an interesting conversation as we see how fashion meets the business of really making sure that people are well mentally. That's the conversation that's coming up.
All right, that conversation is coming up next. It's 10 minutes to be precise, after 3 p.m. Central African Time. Don't go anywhere. This is the final hour of The Upside.
África. Conhece o Ntivani? Claro que sou eu. O Ntivani é o amante da música de corpo e alma. Eu amo música africana. Ele aprecia todos os tipos de melodias e passa os seus dias a ouvir a Channel Africa. Okay. Adivinha só, a Channel Africa quer ajudar o Ntivani e os amantes da música em todo o lado a descobrir ainda mais música incrível. Por isso, a Channel Africa está a convocar artistas africanos a submeterem as suas músicas. Músicos, lembrem-se de nos dar todas as informações relevantes no music@channelafrica.co.za. As submissões são a vossa oportunidade de ser ouvidos, mas não garantem inclusão na lista. Todas as submissões serão cuidadosamente analisadas para verificar se cumprem os requisitos da nossa estação. Canal África, a perspectiva africana.
Ukatili wa kijinsia unaharibu maisha na kutenga jamii. Hutokea nyumbani, shuleni, kazini na mara nyingi kwa ukimya. Lakini hauwezi kuendelea. Ukiona, ongea. Ikiwa unaumia, funguka, kwa sababu kutofanya lolote sio chaguo. Sikiliza vituo vyote 19 vya redio kuanzia Jumatano ya tarehe 23 Julai kwenye mijadala, ushauri, tamthilia, maonyesho ya elimu na mahojiano na wataalam, manusura, watunga sheria na nchi nzima iliyoathirika na ukatili wa kijinsia kwenye vituo vyako pendwa vya redio. Piga simu 0800 428 428 ili kuripoti unyanyasaji au kupata msaada. GBV ikomeshwe na wewe. Ujumbe huu umeletwa kwenu na shirika la SABC.
If it's news and current affairs, leading opinions, and thought leaders that get your groove, this is your home, The Upside.
It's gone 16 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African Time. Everything by DJ Chase. I know DJ Chase on that one. Bonj. Ubanu Bonj. And Evoke. It's not Evoke. People mustn't invite me to their events because I'll butcher their names. Imagine introducing someone.
Okay, what happened on your trip to these farms? Because you went from hype man to Butch. What happened to you?
No, the hype works when the name makes sense. When the name is Evoke, sorry, my bad. Anyway, let's get into our conversation, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a special guest joining us in the studio, a man who is using fashion to, I wouldn't even say address mental health awareness, but allowing us to feel more confident through design, through fashion, and I think that is very important. Your state of well-being has a lot to do with sometimes what you put on, and we don't think about that.
Listen, I think about that. Have you?
I don't think about
even that. Like just the quality of the fabric. As soon as it just brushes against your skin, your whole mood is elevated. Okay, but we're talking about the connection between clothing and mental wellness. Clothing, as you've heard us say, has always been more than just fabric. Okay, it's a form of self-expression for many people, and it can shape how you see yourself, how you view the world. It's an expression of what's going on inside of you that is reflected on the outside. So this month, because we're acknowledging themes around mental health awareness, Monday Zakatu, founded by Sanele Makato, is spotlighting that connection, that precise connection between what we wear and how it makes us feel. The company, as we understand it, works in embroidery and branding, and it goes beyond that. It goes beyond the aesthetics and looks at how it can help people. How it can help people to really just feel more empowered and unified through the apparel. Guess what? Sanele is joining us live in studio. What a gorgeous human being on the inside and out. He's just such a wonderful person. Sanele, thank you very much for making the time to come to the studio. You good?
I'm very good, ma'am.
Yes.
Thank you very much for having me.
Let's talk about, obviously this is a big mission, that you're embarking on, and a very important one. But let's talk about you as a fashion designer. I want to get to know you a little bit better. How did this form of creativity, find you? Or was it the other way around?
So basically, one thing that I can say, there's nothing about being more than being confident. So as a young boy, I've been into modeling. So into modeling, you get to wear items that you get to wear. And usually I've been wearing certain brands of people. So then in my mind, I just wanted to say, I didn't only want to create a brand for myself, but I want to help people bring their brands to vision, bringing their expressions into vision, what they want people to see, bringing them through fashion and through arts. So I can say that I'm a young entrepreneur, a young man who's into business, into arts, and I'm also a pageant model. And not only that, I'm a type of a person who's more into bringing a vision into life.
Oh, I love that.
You should be a beauty model. Gorgeous human being.
You are a model, right?
Oh
yes, I am.
Your face. Stunning.
We're currently in conversation with Sanele Makato. He's the founder and the man behind Mandeza Katu. And they are using apparel for mental wellness and showing you that you can be confident in what you're wearing, and that in actual fact, what you're wearing can reflect sometimes what's happening in your mind. I want to touch that point in particular. It's 20 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African Time. We'll continue our conversation with Sanele right after this.
Zilipendwa na Abedi Jean de la Croix. Leo tujadili kuhusu chipukizi wanaoimba nyimbo za wasanii wengine. Unadhani hili linatokana na nini, Omari?
Nadhani kweli kwamba tukizama muziki ya sasa, hasa wasanii ambao ni chipukizi, kwa kweli kwamba yani karibu kutoka muziki wao wenyewe, lakini wanakuwa wanapenda kuhubiria muziki ya zamani, hizo muziki ya wengine ambazo ni hivyo.
Wengine wanadai kufanya hivyo ni kupromote vipaji vyao haraka ili waweze kujulikana. Je, yawezekana kukawa na ukweli wowote au ndio kukosa kabisa kipaji cha kuandika mistari?
Ndio, unaona kwamba msanii anapoazimia kwamba kuchukua wimbo mwingine wa msanii mwingine na kurudia mara mbili sivyo, haionyeshi kwamba yani ndio wanaanza kazi ya muziki aidha, lakini ukiangalia kabisa asilimia kubwa utakuja kuona kwamba wanakosa ile mawazo ya kutunga muziki.
Zilipendwa
kila Jumamosi kuanzia saa 12 kamili majira ya Afrika ya Kati hadi saa 1 kamili majira ya Afrika ya Kati.
This is The Upside for the best African vibes, groundbreaking content.
21 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African Time. Now, this Mental Health Awareness Month in South Africa, a South African brand by the name of Mandeza Katu is reminding us that confidence can be stitched into every garment. And we're currently in conversation with the founder, Sanele Makato. And, you know, Sanele, I was referencing the point that sometimes even the clothes that you're wearing can be a reflection of what's happening in here, in your mind. Do you think that's a real thing, that's a justified statement?
Yes, that's basically a justified statement. If like I can just make an example, as you are saying, stitching garments together, just like Channel Africa, getting a face of a presenter and getting the logo of the Channel Africa radio, bringing it together. We get to give that to people. People get to know that there's a presenter of a certain show in this radio, so that gets to basically speak volumes about what's occurring in the terms of the business. There's no need for you to even introduce that I'm a radio presenter in Channel Africa. Your face is on the t-shirts. Basically, we've put a vision of the person who's behind this whole thing, the person behind the mic. They get to see that person on a t-shirt with the logo.
Talk to us about just your merge of the work that you do in creative spaces, merging it with creating mental health awareness through the work that you're doing. What's the story behind that? Did you have struggles with mental illness that you would like to highlight for those that share a common problem, or was it just things that you were seeing in your community and you thought, okay, there's a problem to solve through creative entrepreneurship, as it were, or social entrepreneurship?
So honestly speaking, as growing up, I was raised in a home of which it was more of a home that is centered around a granny. So my granny is basically the one who raised me. So at the age of 16 years, my granny took legally she became my full parent. So with that being that, my mother is still alive even today, but she was never there in like my life. So then I told myself that I do not want to be that type of a person who's that I'm gonna tell that umama mwanglasha and tell every that to people. I told myself that let me bring creativity on how I'm gonna do that, because as like we look in our society, more focus is rather on girls rather than boys. So then, if like I remember a concept that I once did with a certain brand, it was bridging the gap and also teaching a boy child, giving a boy child an opportunity. So we did apparel, of which we wrote everything, bridge the gap, also teach a boy child.
So with Mandeza Katu, we had mentioned that there's embroidery involved as well. Talk to us about the full range of the offering of the brand.
So the offering of the brand, it includes embroidery, sublimation, and we also do heat press, vinyl sticking, and right now we are entering a new thing of creating wall banners. We're speaking about flag banners. So now we're no longer focusing on that. We are now going to do something that people can wear. We also want to focus on that things that they can display, like merchandise. We want to brand bottles for people. We want to brand bags for people. We want to let everything speak about the person.
Is that where the confidence then comes from? Is it through the embroidery perhaps? Are you using words to encourage the person? What is it about the embroidery that makes someone say, I will confidently wear your brand? Does it have courage written here? Does it have I am beautiful? What is it about the embroidery that makes you connect emotionally with the piece that you're wearing?
So in most cases, I, as myself, as the person who's the director of this company, I do the embroidery. It's something that I have been taught by my granny. So then I get to realize, this is something that it can bring bread to my table. So then when I get to a person as a brand, this person will tell me that this is my logo. Create me something. This person will express his or her vision, and then we'll be like, let's put this down. Let's create a design. We do not only offer one design, we offer various designs. Then the person will get to choose the design that speaks volume for him or her.
Okay, so you obviously the creative director of this wonderful project, and that puts you in a position to be able to advise your client. Do you focus on specific colors, color combinations, because those have an effect on our mental health as well? So is that a consideration through the work that you are doing?
Yes, growing up as I am a 2K. So you basically know colors this day speak volume.
Yeah.
So the moment you bring something bright, combine red and yellow, people will scream. It will speak volume because it brings brightness and it brings like happiness, positivity. So a company will come and then they will give me their logo. Chances are that their logo is red. And then they will say, do something creative with this. I give options that can merge with red. We merge those colors. There's a lot of shades of red because people, they tend to only know that there's one blue. But honestly speaking, blue is not one blue. There's sky blue, there's navy. We can combine that color and give something that's going to express more about the history of the company.
Okay.
You have represented and raised the South African flag very high and internationally. Tell us about your trip earlier this year to the Americas of the world. This was under the World Rising Stars 2025. Tell us how that happened, how you got that invite and that experience there in America.
So basically, that was one of the huge experience ever, and it's something that I got to basically showcase myself and showcase what I do and what I love to do. So basically, in doing that, it was an opportunity to go represent it in the World Rising Stars. It was a fashion competition.
Okay.
So as a South African, I had to represent the diversity of South Africa. You know, South Africa is a rainbow nation.
Yeah.
So then when I got there, it was not only about representing what I want, but it was representing what the future holds for me. So, you know, South Africa, there's colors, mainly 5 colors that I love about South Africa: red, blue, yellow, brown, and orange. So I remember very well creating a shirt that I'm going to wear. I did it from scratch. So to me, when I was doing that shirt, it was not only that I was doing a shirt that particularly I'm doing it to wear or I'm doing it to win. It was more of a thing that I'm doing this shirt so that people can see the diversity. People can see that South Africa is there. South Africa is not only a country, because some of the people, they think that South Africa is a jungle. And honestly speaking, we're not a jungle. We are a country with a lot of things. Speaking about sports, there's a lot of things that we can do.
Yeah.
You know, I'm listening to you, and immediately I had the thought, Sonabile Ndamase, who designed the Madiba shirt. And I think like there's just something about your energy that represents that you are going to really come up with something so iconic. So talk to me about any success stories, you know, of people that you've dressed, you know, brands that you've worked with, where they came back to you and said, you know, there's an elevation through this work, through this design that you've done. You know, people are feeling better, or you know, they're more bouncy in the workplace, or tell us some of the success stories that you've heard from your clientele.
So one of the success stories that I've heard from my clients, it was basically working with a school. So with that school, it's like a preschool, Angels. So Angels, it's a school that's centered in the township. You know, I do not know why, but people have to have this mentality that township schools are not good. But then I remember creating golf t-shirts for the school. And then when I walked home one day, I saw the kids walking in a group with the t-shirts, the confidence in the kids, also like the parents, also the posting in that. So like, even now, if now I can tell you, like the school is having now much more preschool learners through the uniform that we created, because we got to represent the founder's vision in terms of what does she want, whether is it a preschool that's in a location or it's in town, but where there's a dream and where there's a vision with a mission, anything can be accomplished with that.
How can we get your services on social media? Do you have a social media handle and also your website?
So on social media, we are available on all social media platforms. On Facebook, it's Mandeza Katu, and on Instagram, it's @Mandeza_Katu, and also we are available on TikTok. And our website, we're still putting it in place, and it will be ready within a week.
Wow. You are so organized in thought, in creativity. You're just really organized. Thank you so much for coming. It was great to meet you, and you are such an inspiration. We're going to check out your work, and you know, I guess for those that really want to prepare for 2026, this is a good time to do it. Hey,
yes, it is.
Awesome stuff. It is 3:30. Let's cross to the sports desk.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
And a very good afternoon from the sports desk. I am Musibu Dimakura with the latest sports news at the Sawa. So the road to the group stages of the Total Energies CAF Champions League 2025-2026 group stages reaches its final hurdle this weekend as the first leg matches of the second preliminary round are played across the continent from the 17th until the 19th of October. So continental heavyweights enter at this stage while several inform other sides arrive with momentum from the opening round, setting up a compelling set of fixtures. So, record 12-time African champions Al Ali of Egypt begin their campaign away at Engel Noor of Burundi, while coach Jess Thorpe's men will be looking to start their campaign charge on a positive and a strong note. Another headline tie sees Nigeria's Remo Stars take on South African powerhouse Mamelodi Sundowns, a mouth-watering West African versus South Continental clash between two of the most dynamic clubs in the regions, on their respective regions. Elsewhere, four-time winners Esperance de Tunis travel to Burkina Faso to face off with Raimo FC, while Petro Athletic of Angola will visit Stade Abidjan in Cote d'Ivoire, aiming to maintain their dominant form from their previous round. Now, Tanzanian giants Young Africans will face Silver Strikers of Malawi, while South Africa's Orlando Pirates will travel to the Democratic Republic of Congo to face off with ST Elo Lupopo in another thrilling fixture. Vipers SC of Uganda will welcome Power Dynamos of Zambia in the East African and Southern African Showdown, and Horoya FC of Guinea meet FAR Rabat of Morocco in one of the most balanced pairings of the weekend. So the clash between defending champions Pyramids FC of Egypt as well as Ethiopian Insurance of Ethiopia, as well as the meeting between RS Bagan of Morocco as well as Al Ali Tripoli of Libya have been postponed. Well, World 200-meter finalist Sinosipo Dambile has revealed his ambition to compete in both the 100 as well as the 200-meter events at next year's Commonwealth Games. Now, the national 200-meter champion who made history by qualifying for his first ever major international final at the World Championships in Tokyo just about 2 months ago says his breakthrough performance has boosted his confidence to take on more challenges. Inspired by the likes of Tebogo as well as Noah Lyles, Dambile believes he is now ready to embrace the responsibility that comes with doubling up at major championships. The 23-year-old South African sprinter says he wants to test his limits as he completes as a sprinter.
It's a good question. The 200 is the one that is definitely it's going to decide itself which one that will make it. Which event that will help it for me to get better, So this year I ran around it, I did 100, I did 4, pretty much I'll be playing around it. So, but next year I'm definitely want to do a lot of hundreds. I'm looking forward to that because I still want to put on muscle a little bit.
So Dambile clocked 20.33 seconds in the final in Tokyo, Japan in September, which was won by American star Noah Lyles, and also expressed pride in his performance despite finishing in 8th position. Now, his standout moment came in the semi-final where he ran a personal best of 19.97 seconds to finish 3rd, which was the best race of the competition. Now, the season has been one to remember as he also reclaimed his national 200-meter title, which he last held back in 2022.
Of course, like in the heat, I was trying to figure it out, because it was hot, it was humid, and I was trying to get the right warm up and stuff like that. And I felt like I did so much in the heat, and it took so much of my energy. So when I went there, I was like, I need to make sure that I'm in the semi-final. I get in and I manage it pretty good. And then when it came to a semi-final, that's why I was like, to make it to the final, because we knew a long time ago that to make it to the final is definitely going to take some training, So me and my team were really sitting like, listen, to make it there, you're going to have to be able to run 90. And the work preparation going there, we knew that we were ready to do that,
And finally, in tennis news, world number 1 Carlos Alcaraz has defended his decision to play in the lucrative Six Kings Slam exhibition event in Saudi Arabia after previously saying he would consider skipping ATP Tour events to prioritize his health due to a crowded schedule. Now, the men's as well as the women's circuit, which runs across 11 months with extended formats at several tournaments, have come under fresh scrutiny during the Asian swing, where extreme heat as well as humidity contributed to the spat of injuries as well as withdrawals. So the Professional Tennis Players Association filed a lawsuit against the sports governing body in March of this year, calling the scheduling situation unsustainable. After winning the Tokyo title just last month despite playing with an ankle injury, Alcaraz withdrew from the next event in Shanghai, saying he needed more time to recover. His decision to play in the sixth King's Slam, which has now offered $1.5 million in appearance money, while the winner's check is $6 million, has stoked plenty of criticism from the fans. Well, that is a wrap from the sports desk at the Sawa. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, our email address is newsroom@channelafrica.co.za, or call us on +27 11714 4459. I'm back with the final sports update for the afternoon in the next hour. For Channel Africa Sport, I am Musibudi Makura.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective. Let the good times roll. From the 10th of October, make a note. Channel Africa is stepping into a brand new era. We're launching our upgraded website and app. It's easy, fresh, and always on your fingertips. Wherever you are in the world, Africa's voice is just a click away. The future of Channel Africa. Okay. Goes live from the 10th of October. Don't miss the moments. The Upside with Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mosito, bringing Africa's voices to the world. On Channel Africa, the African perspective.
37 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African time. Let's get the final business news this afternoon. Chanduko Ligege is standing by.
Business news on Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Thank you, Tebogo. Good afternoon. The Nigerian naira could depreciate as foreign investors sell local assets owing to a global risk of mood caused by escalating trade tensions between the world's two biggest economies, the US and China, and weak dollar supply by the central bank. The cedi is expected to extend its recent rally against the dollar, supported by sustained foreign exchange inflows and continued central bank intervention. Kenya's shilling is expected to be stable in the next week, and the Kenyan Central Bank says the shilling's steadiness is due to dollar inflows from remittances, horticulture and tea exports, and confidence in the economy. Guinea's bauxite exports surged 23% year-on-year in the third quarter, defying heavy rains and regulatory headwinds. Guinea's Ministry of Mines and Geology says shipments of the critical aluminium feedstock rose to 39.41 million metric tons, up from 32 million in quarter 4 of 2024. Monthly shipments from Guinea, which is the world's second largest bauxite producer, averaged 13.14 million tons in quarter 3, down nearly 19% from the first half as heavy rains disrupted mine access and slowed port operations, underscoring seasonal volatility in the country's supply chain. South African food producer Premier Group has agreed to acquire all shares of RFG through a share swap deal in which RFG shareholders will take a 22.5% stake in the combined group. Premier says RFG, a producer of convenience meal solutions such as canned food and canned meat, will complement its existing portfolio of bakery, maize, rice and sugar and broaden its market reach. Under the terms of the transaction implementation agreement, Premier will offer 1 Premier share for every 7 RFG shares based on reference prices of $8.88 per Premier share and 22 Rand per RFG share. Food and beverage giant Nestlé says it will cut 16,000 jobs over the next 2 years as its new CEO Philip Navratil pushes to focus on products with the highest potential returns. The Swiss company must change faster to keep pace with a changing world and adopt a performance mindset that does not accept losing market share to rivals. He replaced the former CEO who was fired in September of a romantic relationship with an employee. The job cuts were announced today as Nestle reported better sales figures in the first 9 months of 2025, selling more products across its major categories, including coffee and sweets. In other news, the Indian government has insisted its main objective is to safeguard the interests of Indian consumers in a volatile energy market, and this is after the US President Donald Trump claimed Prime Minister Narendra Modi had assured him India would stop purchasing Russian oil. A statement from India's foreign ministry neither confirmed nor denied that Delhi was shifting its energy policy. In August, the Trump administration imposed a 50% tariff on goods from India as punishment from buying Russian oil and weapons. The BBC's Arunodey Mukherjee reports.
India has consistently resisted growing pressure from the US over its Russian oil imports, saying it needs to secure its energy requirements given the rising population and rapidly growing economy. In a statement, the Foreign Ministry indicated, however, that the government was open to diversifying as appropriate to meet market conditions. Reacting to President Trump's remarks, the statement said discussions were ongoing with the U.S. administration, which they said had shown interest in deepening energy cooperation with India.
$1 in Nigeria is trading at 1,460 naira. In Botswana, 13 pula 26. Kenya, the dollar is 128 shilling 8. Zambia, 22 kwacha 52. BRICS countries, $1 in Brazil is 5 real 46. Russia, 78 rubles 88. India, 88 rupee 15. China, 71 13. South Africa, 17 rand 32 cents. $1 is 74 pence to the British pound, 85 to the euro. Looking at commodities, gold is at $4,248, platinum at $1,684 per ounce. The price of Brent crude oil at $62.19 a barrel. For any business stories you'd like to share with us, please send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za, or you can call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business, I am Chanduko Ligege.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective. 9 to 12 midday Central African Time. On the move with Palisa Tau and Benjamin Mushata.
Should influencers be expected to be impactful in society? If there is a social or societal conversation that goes up, should we be waiting eagerly to hear what the influencers have to say?
They are more than just entertainers. They are thought leaders to some certain degree. They influence culture. They influence people's thought processes. They set trends. They shape opinions of people. And the sad reality is, although a lot of them don't want to accept it, I think we're getting better with them realizing that embarking in that journey and in that space comes with a certain level of responsibility.
I see it differently in that, professionals are already good at their job, but there is an optionality that they might have to use the position that they hold in society to be able to deliver a message. This year you made the example of actors and actresses. So the same could apply to a sportsman. Just because someone's good at soccer doesn't mean that they have to have an influence over society from a specific standpoint.
Keeping you on the know and on the move. Let the good times roll. From the 10th of October, make a note. Channel Africa is stepping into a brand new era with the launch of our upgraded website and app. It's easy, fresh, and always on your fingertips. Wherever you are in the world, Africa's voice is just a click away. The future of Channel Africa goes live from the 10th of October. Don't miss the moment. We are on Open Views Audio Bouquet. Channel 628.
Clarity is clear to see. I think it's time we confront at the situation in front of us. And I think it's time we talk it out and forget all the fuss. And if it's not me, I'll have to understand, and I'll be out your way. No drama involved, but if you feel it's me, if you feel I'm the one, you're gonna need to make a way for me to see. But as for me, you're the one, and in my heart, time will come till the end. I'ma always be right by your side. But as for me, you're the one, and in my heart, time will come till the end. I'ma always be right by your side. I know you're the one, I know our time will come. I feel you in my heart, I see you in my dreams, I keep you in my prayers. I think it's time you admit that I'm the only one for you, yeah. And I think it's time you let go of all your fears and just trust me, babe. Cause I know you are, and I know this isn't what you're meant to do. You have pure intentions, what is the issue? So just open up and let me see inside. Maybe you should just put your pride aside. But as for me, you're the one, and in my heart, time will come till the end. I'ma always be right by your side. But as for me, you're the one, and in my heart, time will come till the end. I'ma always be right by your side. I know we can make it, baby. Take a chance on me. Let me show you good times, baby. Take a chance on us. Take a chance on us. But as for me, you're the one, and in my heart, time will come till the end. I'ma always be right by your side. But as for me, you're the one, and in my heart, time will come till the end. I'ma always be right by your side. I know you're the one, I know our time will come. I feel you in my heart, I see you in my dreams, I keep you in my prayers.
Channel Africa, your voice, your sound, and your home. Stay logged right here.
Make me lose my breath, make me water, make me sweat, make me harder, make me lose my breath, make me water.
Normally, I could keep my cool, but tonight I'm whining. I'ma be in a dangerous mood, can you match my timing? Telling me that you're really about it, what you're hiding. Talk is cheap, so show me that you understand, I like it. Can you blow my mind? Set off my whole body. If I give you my time, can you snatch my soul from it? I don't wanna wait. Come take me where I ain't been before. Can you blow my mind? make me water, make me sweat.
Two superstars in this double play, Water by Tyler, award-winning, multi-award-winning and Grammy award-winning Tyler, and Elaine with You're the One. It's 9 minutes before 4 p.m. Central African time. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick breather. When we get back, it's not really a vent. I just want to share something with you. You know, I saw something.
Ventilation light.
Something like that. Don't go anywhere.
Zilipendwa na Abedi Jean de la Croix.
Leo tujadili kuhusu chipukizi wanaoimba nyimbo za wasanii wengine. Unadhani hili linatokana na nyuma?
Nadhani kweli kwamba tukizama muziki ya sasa, hasa wasanii ambao ni chipukizi, kwa kweli kwamba yani karibu kutoa muziki wao wenyewe, lakini wanakuwa wanataka kuhubiria muziki ya zamani, hizo muziki ya wengine ambao ni taimbo.
Wengine wanadai kufanya hivyo ni kupromote vipaji vyao haraka ili waweze kujulikana. Je, yawezekana kukawa na ukweli wowote au ndio kukosa kabisa kipaji cha kuandika mistari?
Ndio, unaona kwamba msanii anapoazimia kwamba kuchukua wimbo mwingine wa msanii mwingine na kurudia mara mbili studio, haionyeshi kwamba yani ndio wanaanza kazi ya muziki aidhani, lakini ukiangalia kabisa asilimia kubwa utakuta kwamba wanakosa ile mawazo ya kutunga muziki.
Zilipendwa kila Jumamosi kuanzia saa 12 kamili majira ya Afrika ya Kati hadi saa 1 kamili majira ya Afrika ya Kati. Darubini ya Afrika na I am Henry Shakif.
Mgombea urais wa chama cha wananchi CUF Gambo Samatindo ameitaka serikali ya Tanzania kuweza kutoa msimamo wao wa wazi kuhusiana na matukio ya utekaji watu. Tamko hili la mgombea huyu wa CUF mnalichukuliaje na nini mtazamo wenu?
Haya ndio masuala ambayo sisi kama watetezi wa haki za binadamu au shirika la utetezi tunapenda sana, ni moja ya kazi ambayo tunaifanya.
Lakini tatizo hili limekuwa sugu kwa hivi karibuni. Hili linaleta tafsiri gani kwa nchi ya Tanzania kiujumla? Mnasimamia wapi mpaka hivi sasa, na je, mmekwisha kutoa tamko lolote?
Ndio, sisi tulitoa statement yetu. Sasa ni jambo la kutisha sana kuona mambo yanaendelea, na inatisha sasa hivi sana. Watu wanaonekana kukasirishwa sana na matukio ya namna hii.
Darubini ya Afrika kila Jumatatu hadi Ijumaa kuanzia saa 11 kamili hadi saa 12 kamili jioni majira ya Afrika ya Kati.
Mosito and Tebogo Lekhuleni on the upside.
6 minutes before 4 p.m. Central African time. Guess which country Forbes has listed as the best place to visit in 2025?
Bali.
I'll give you 2 more guesses. Not Bali.
Are you going to give me a clue?
Oh, 2 more guesses. No, I'm not going to give you a clue.
Okay.
Otherwise it will be too easy.
Is it like a beach area? Okay.
No,
I
don't know.
I'm going to put South Africa as an option. No.
Last chance.
Okay. Forbes.
Mm-hmm.
What would Forbes say? What would Forbes say? I'm trying to tap in psychically and it's not working. Hawaii?
Nope. The world's best country to visit in 2025, according to travel experts, and this is according to Ford as well, Zimbabwe is the best place to visit in 2025.
Why?
Why?
Yeah, I want to know. What is the reason for making that decision?
Because of its breathtaking natural wonders, like Victoria Falls,
yes,
rich wildlife and vibrant culture. Zimbabwe continues to rise as one of Africa's top travel destinations. I'm going to list a few things and places that you can visit and check out when you go to Zimbabwe, because I'm actually planning a trip to Zimbabwe. I thought about it. I was like, okay, cool. You can do Durban again. You can go to the Eastern Cape. You can go to the Western Cape in South Africa. But I've been wanting to go to Zimbabwe, and I think this time around, I'm going to create a whole itinerary of the places I need to visit. Victoria Falls, one of the places that you can visit. Hwange National Park. Looking for wildlife. So personally, as a safari guy, as game drives and all these things, Hwange National Park. I hope I said it properly there. Lake Kariba.
That is a beautiful place.
So my plan is to go to the Lake Kariba area, right, and lodge there, so I can experience the lake, the beauty of the lake and so on and so forth. But I also realized that driving from Harare, the airport, which I think it is the closest airport, there is a Kariba airport, but it's such a tiny airport, not a lot of planes go there. I was checking FastJet. FastJet is a Zimbabwean airline that moves between South Africa, Zimbabwe, Zambia, and so on and so forth. And on the website, it had listed that they go to Kariba. I gave them a call this morning. I was like, hey, listen, tell me more about this Kariba and Johannesburg route. And they were like, no, we don't go there. It's on their website. So I haven't found an airline that goes directly to Kariba from Johannesburg, or even from Harare to Kariba, which is about a 45-minute flight. So my plan is to go to Harare, experience a bit of Harare there and the surroundings. There are quite a few natural parks there, and some water features. I love water features. I love lakes, dams. I love that. And then move to the Kariba area, and then lodge there. That's my plan, and that's a 5 to 6 hour drive between the 2 points. So I'm thinking about it. Should I actually do that? I don't know, but I think it will be worth it, because I've never been to Zimbabwe, and I'd like to think that the Lake Kariba, it's the most beautiful lake. I've seen images of it, I've seen videos of it. I need to be there.
It looks like the pictures.
It's beautiful. And then you've got Nyanga. You've got Nyanga National Park, where you have the waterfalls. You can walk. There's a long bridge where you can walk in between the different. It's not even from tree to tree. It's a beautiful valley. It's a waterfall behind. So Zimbabwe has been listed by Forbes as the best place to visit in 2025.
Well, I mean, you clearly endorse it, because there's an itinerary on the way. But
Yes.
I have got to agree with that. The Victoria Falls from Zimbabwe, I've never experienced them from Zambia, because I've never been to Zambia.
Yeah.
But from the Elephant Hills Hotel, oh my goodness, it's really just really exquisite, really stunning. Lake Kariba, gorgeous. If you're looking for,
been?
Yes, I have several times. And also, if you are looking to add to itinerary maybe some historical sites, the Zimbabwe ruins are really great to visit as well.
Zimbabwe ruins, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So okay, I kind of get it. But I think also, to pick one region, I'll use Southern Africa as an example. Every single region in Southern Africa has a hotspot.
Absolutely,
so,
yeah.
I don't know. I'm guessing that this particular analyst took a recent trip to Zimbabwe.
100%. There's a place called Balancing Rocks as well. I must go check that out. The rocks look like they're balancing. There's so many gems in Zimbabwe. Anyway, it's 4 p.m. Central African time. African Business is coming up next with Tami Ngubeni. But let's get the latest news with Onele Nsinzi. From us, the Upsiders, Mmatsheko, and Nombuis Hello, and myself, and Ntando.
And Lerato.
And Talent. We will do this again tomorrow, same time, same place. Goodbye.